Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to, I believe we are on episode 28 of Storm King's Thunder here at Proficiency Bonus. We're so glad that you're joining us tonight. As always, it's a pleasure to be streaming tonight this wonderful Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition module with all of you tonight. I want to throw out a couple quick shout outs to Team MZ, to Many Sided Dice and Nightshade Creations for partnering with us and helping us out to get the stream out there to you. And also make sure you click down on those links below so you can check out some of the materials and the objects that they offer. Offers several different kinds of merchandise related to Dungeons and Dragons, including magic compendiums and dice towers and all kinds of things like that. So make sure you go check those out by clicking those links down below. I'm going to go ahead and just well, before I do that, I want to go ahead and give a couple more shout outs because we welcomed a few new followers this week. So I want to go ahead and get my list of names out there, so I can shout out to Gore Cannon for the follow. Gore Cannon, thank you so much for jumping on board. Support has followed us, so thank you for supporting us. We will make sure that we support you. Support, because I don't know about you, but I always, anytime somebody follows us on Twitch, I follow them back because I feel like that is something that a good community does. Special thanks to Fuzzy Squirrel for jumping on board. Forged at the Table last week not only followed, but subscribed to the channel. So thanks a lot, Forged at the Table. And I believe that was the stream that brought a bunch of viewers to our stream last week with the raid. It's Matthew, is that something new to Twitch? Is that something...
No, it's something that happens occasionally when you're broadcasting. You can, at the end of your broadcast, you can elect to raid, and it basically takes you and all your viewers and dives them into somebody else's channel.
That's cool. That's a cool new feature with Twitch. Also, a quick shout out about Twitch. They also give out different badges and icons in the Twitch chat now for clipping videos. So if you're watching and you see something that you want to watch again or you think is an epic moment in the episode, you can clip that part, and they're offering some incentives and rewards in Twitch chat for that. So make sure you guys clip your favorite parts of tonight's episode and stay on it with that, because we love it when you guys clip interesting events that happen and interesting things that people say, so that we can go back and enjoy them again. Also want to thank... I think that was the end of our list for today. End of our new followers. So thank you to all of our new followers this week. We appreciate you guys jumping on board and joining us on this adventure. And I'm going to go ahead and take you guys over to our cast for tonight. And here we all are. Everybody can say hello now. You guys are live.
Oh, hey. Of course, it happens right as I hear a funny noise in my hall.
Oh, there you go. Uh-oh. It might be a beholder.
Or it's the zombie he raised.
Oh, yeah. Dancing in the hallway.
Yeah.
Doing the flossing out there.
Is it naked? Be careful.
Be careful. Watch out, Matthew. Don't do it. No. So anyway, I wanted to just go ahead and do a quick recap from last week. Last week, our adventurers found themselves in the Shadowfell. And they were brought there by a familiar face. They got to reconnect with their good friend Moby. But Moby was a little different. He looked more like Gothic Moby whenever they met him this time. Hair pretty much jet black. His colorful armor jet black as well, with his pale skin. He looked like he hasn't been eating well. So it was definitely Diana trying to force food down his throat whenever they met. It was kind of cool. So they got to meet Moby. Moby was trying to warn the party that it looked like a member of Zolkin's band from way back in Nightstone was traveling through the Shadowfell. And Moby recognized him and was looking for a way to reach out to you guys and found this rift to bring you to the Shadowfell. You guys were traveling for quite some time. Lachlan and Ashlyn got really scared. They thought that this place was going to kill them. Created some interesting RP moments as they were traveling in Moby's cart. They arrived a tavern, an inn called the Faceless Inn, where they met an interesting character and saw some different things and were led out to a spooky graveyard with this weird kind of smoke, dust swirling all around. Then they saw him. They recognized one of the members of the Seven Snakes from way back in Nightstone, and a floating kind of object beside him. And Callista, not wasting any time, conjured her dire wolves to basically jump on the scene. And then the battle ensued. And they found out that the floating object was a decrepit old zombie beholder that was floating around. They were able to take care of the member of the Seven Snakes rather quickly. Molfin used his animate dead, I believe is the spell, to bring him back to life. And the zombie himself was able to do the final blow against the zombie beholder, dispersing all the will-o-wisps that were zinging around too, chasing you guys. At the end, Moby said his goodbyes, and you guys were sent back through a green rift, and that's where we ended the episode and where we pick up tonight. So, without further ado, so the adventure is told. Molfin, as you appear, it's in the middle of the day. The sun is bright, and you can see that Ashlyn is standing in front of you. And it seems as if the rest of the party is gathered together. But you guys can hear some voices in the distance. They seem to be calling out all of your names. Lachlan! Diana! Ashlyn! Callista! Molfin!
Hello!
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 What? Who is there?
I'm Ashlyn. You just called me.
Ah, Ashlyn! Where are you?
I'm here.
I can't see you.
I can't see you. It's fine.
Wait, let me get closer. You guys just hear
Okay.
like the crashing of leaves, and like it sounds like some large heavy creature has just tripped over something, like a down tree branch or something, and you hear like the crumpling of things as you guys are in kind of like just a very light forest. You guys all recognize this light forest. It's an area that you traveled through on your way to Fireshear. And
Do we recognize that voice?
oh yeah, you guys definitely do. It sounds like the king of the frozen farm.
Oh,
You hide. Okay. If you'd like to make a stealth check, you may, Lachlan. So yeah, a few minutes. Yeah, you're pretty much hidden from everyone. So you guys all of a sudden start to see like rumbling through this light forest. Sarvin, he looks like he's kind of huffing and puffing a bit as he approaches. And a few steps behind, you can see the little male halfling is kind of bringing up the rear, kind of following his path. Ashlyn! Oh, we found you! Oh my goodness! And he's like kind of trudging on towards you guys.
good job.
How long were we gone for?
My goodness! When I woke up, everybody was gone. We just continued to look all through the morning, and it's well past lunch by now. Where have you all been?
It's complicated.
Where is
Shadowfell.
Where is Lachlan the Legendary?
I don't know. He's with us somewhere. In here.
I start counting heads.
I think he was lost to us in wherever we ended up. He may not have made it out. It was a rather suspicious encounter with a beholder of some sort.
Oh, he gets super excited, like his eyes, like, but you saw a beholder.
Yeah, we missed you.
Oh, I am so jealous. What?
We tried to have one of the people pull its eye out, but it just went to jelly.
Oh, that can happen sometimes. You got to be real careful with beholder eyes.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, my friend was not.
Who was the lucky one who got to try to pluck the eye from the beholder?
A naked zombie.
He wasn't naked at the time.
He just immediately looks at you, Diana, and he looks stunned. Like he has no idea like what to say.
It's a long story.
Naked zombie.
You can have
Well, he
molten.
killed it first and then got naked, but whatever.
Oh, that's let's just stop talking about that right there. That's a little too much for the King of the Frozen Fire.
I didn't think that was possible.
Nice, Callista.
I'm gonna start heading over to her griffin's area.
Okay.
Me too.
Dasharra.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, as you're walking, Sarvin gives you. He's like, "Oh, Dasharra's been looking for you all morning. I tell you, I think she might be a little upset.
Oh no.
You're missing valuable training time. That's what she kept on.
Yeah.
That's what she kept on yelling. Oh, she was in one of her moods.
I'll make my way back too with Callista.
Okay.
I want to go to our rooms though first.
Molfin's heading straight up to the top of the spot we've been sleeping.
Okay. Diana, you notice on your way back that the little halfling, Orange Peel, he kind of almost like purposely like sticks with you as you guys are walking. Like he's kind of like just a couple feet like beside you.
My little duckling.
Yeah, he's got kind of he's kind of like a shy kind of walk. He's like whenever you kind of like look beside you, kind of like looks away and looks down at the ground. Just kind of just walks with you. He doesn't really say anything. He just kind of walks. And
All right.
so you guys end up getting back there. Molfin, you are heading back up there. Before you guys even get close to the place, you can see Dasharra is standing out there. She's got both hands on her hips, and she is just watching all of you approach.
Oh, hi, Dasharra. How are you?
I'm gonna walk past her and go towards the rooms. I don't want to talk to her.
She looks
I'll go up to her.
She looks right at Ashlyn after Ashlyn says that. Where have you been?
The Shadowfell. Where have you been?
What? What?
What the what?
It's complicated, Dasharra. We got pulled into the Shadowfell. We had to find an old party member. It's really complicated, but we're here now. I apologize. We weren't sure how long we were going to be gone for, but...
Well, so we're in the middle of our training. We're dancing around the plains. Ah, what am I going to do with you?
There was dancing. How did you know?
We
dancing zombie.
Zombies, beholders, more flying snakes, and I kind of like threw a side glare at one of the guards around her and be like,
when you look at the guard kind of like looks over his shoulder, like you're looking past him, like he's just like looking around. he's just looking around, like, and she's like, well. We've got a lot of catching up to do if you guys want to get trained on these griffins. Today is a very important day. Today is bonding day.
Ooh.
Of course.
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
Okay. Well, let's go let's go get the griffins out and let's start this. We've got a lot to catch up on. And she kind of just starts trudging back towards the stables. Diana and Mulfin, you guys were headed up to the top room. Is that correct? You guys kind of passed this up. Lachlan, were you just kind of like sneaking up behind everybody, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, awkwardly creeping on everybody.
Okay. So, Mulfin, you head up there. Lachlan.
No, if she says that, then Mulfin would stay down.
Okay.
And just, again, looking somewhat miserable, as I'm assuming getting hit with a disintegration ray at close range is probably left him disheveled and a little messed up in the face.
Oh yeah, I only have 22 hit points. That's funny. I was hit by 1 too. Isn't that funny, Uncle Muffin?
Yes, it is certainly a blast.
Literally, you're so fun.
Oh, before I forget, who did we give the nat 20 to last week? Oh, it was Mulfin. That was right
If
there.
I remember, I think it was me.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put it up there so we remember. There it is in the top corner of your video there. So we are all good. Excellent. All right, so you guys head towards the stables, and Dasharra's like, okay, well, the first thing we need to do is we need to... I want you all to get the griffins out of their pens today. And I want you to go ahead and bring them out here in this open space here beside the stables. And she just kind of stands there and she waits.
Okay. I go over to Gizzard's. I go, come here, boy.
Who was mine again? I don't know if I have it written down.
Who did you? I think you put Quen. Did you have Quen? Diana,
What's
do you
the other
remember?
one?
Do you remember who you had? There was Quen. There was Solana. There was Gizzard. There was Devaney.
I think I had Quinn.
Okay.
I think. Whoever she recommended to me, I took.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him in my notes either. Mulfin, who were you? What? You weren't there, so you didn't have a griffin the first day.
I had wandered off.
Yeah, you had
The
wandered
only one
off.
I actively remember is Ashlyn had Gizzard.
Yeah, Ashlyn had Gizzard. I know that. Lachlan, do you remember who you had?
I am trying to look in my notes.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know this was a thing that needed to be taken in the note.
It's all right.
Orkward is saying somebody had Melik.
Yeah, somebody had Melik.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Orkward.
Melik?
Yeah, that might have been.
Oh, did I have? Did I have Melik?
Right.
Yeah, I think you might have that.
I think I had Melik.
You know, either way, it'll still work.
Anyway.
The ones that
Yeah,
the ones that you rode before, you can actually try to bond with a different one, if you want.
Okay.
So, Ashlyn approaches Gizzard. Go ahead and make an animal handling check for me, Ashlyn, as you try to. Okay, Gizzard, a little hesitant at first, but Gizzard starts. That's nice, Matthew. I like that. It's a nice touch. I love it. Gizzard starts to starts cautiously. As he starts to walk, you see him kind of like look back, and there's the 2 rocks that he had that he was kind of nesting. He takes them. He takes some sticks and some hay and some things that he's got in his stable, and he takes his beak and he kind of pushes it over top of the rocks to kind of hide them from you.
Okay, I kind of help him.
Oh, you're helping him? As you're helping him, he's just awkwardly like looking at you.
I awkwardly look back at him.
Yeah, perfect. So as they're both covering these rocks, they're just staring at each other awkwardly. And then eventually, Ashlyn, without much difficulty, you're able to lead Gizzard out into the open space, and Dasharra seems pretty impressed.
Yay!
She kind of just starts to nod her head in a just a approving manner. Who else would like to go ahead and get their griffin?
I'll get Malik.
You
Yeah.
get Malik. Okay, go ahead and make an animal handling check for me, Callista.
Oh god. Oh. I'm
Oh
fine.
yeah, no problem. Malik seems to be in a very good mood. this morning. He seems to almost like have like a bounce to his little trot as he steps out of the stables and steps out alongside Callista to the field, and Dasharra seems to be just as impressed, actually. And then brings us up to Diana. Diana, you got we've got Quen, we've got Solana, we've got.
I'm not there. I
I
said that I went to the room.
you still went up to the rooms? Okay.
Yeah.
Lachlan, are you up to this point? Are you visible now, or are you still hiding?
Still hiding, but have joined. I'm actually. I want to sneak up on mine.
You're gonna
try to catch it.
Okay, excellent. So, Lachlan, how exactly are you getting into the stable to sneak up on it? Like, can you describe how that looks to everybody?
Sure, I've got to assess the stable from outside and get a sense of it. Is the only way in there through the door, or are there windows?
There are some there, but they're like long, skinny windows. You think you could squeeze through one, but it'd be a tight fit. So you kind of have to you probably have to make some kind of acrobatics check to squeeze through the window. But the stables oh, you do have some oil?
Flask of oil for my crossbow, so I'm gonna oil myself up a little bit.
Oh my god.
Okay, you can give yourself advantage on this acrobatics check.
Yes!
With the oiled up leather that you.
Here we go. All right.
So
I'm just gonna run up and
Lachlan sneaks up behind this. Yeah, he's sneaking up behind. He's oiling himself up. Runs and dives through the window. And yeah, you just like whoop slide right through, and go, and you actually kind of like flip over and you land in the stable. And you are actually in Solana's stable, and. You did a really good job of like sneaking in there. Solana's still facing the doorway because kind of keeping track of, the others that are coming in. So her head is kind of just like over the top of the little swinging door that's kind of locked in the front.
Yeah.
So you're gonna try to just leap on top of Solana, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
While you're oiled.
Okay.
Greek wrestling.
Diana, Callista, Ashlyn, Molfin, you're with them all outside too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys just start hearing just this slamming, like it sounds like something is just hitting up against like wooden doors, like just like boo boo like it sounds like something is going completely nuts inside. And Lachlan, you are just like attached around Solana's neck, and Solana is just like flapping her wings, kicking her back feet like into the wood and background of the stable, and the it's just like beating around.
I think the bonding is working.
Molfin turns to look at Ashlyn and Callista and say, "Well, I know Diana was heading back upstairs. I wonder what in the name she could be getting into to be causing all that noise."
10 gold on Lachlan.
Lachlan isn't here, though.
That's a lot of money.
I have not seen him in a while. I will not take that bet.
Lachlan, make an athletics check for us.
Alrighty. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Lachlan, Solana tosses you up over the door in the stable, and you slam down outside of the little hallway that like leads in through the stalls of the. So you're just like laying on your back, looking up at the wooden ceiling.
Good thing you
above
didn't take that bet now.
Spit out some feathers.
You just hear like this screeching, like an eagle screech, like behind you as it's like screeching down at you.
Hey. Oh, that went pretty well. Can I see all of them now?
You can see Callista and Ashlyn. There's kind of like a barn door that's open on the side, and they're both standing there just staring at you from the side. Like they're standing next to their griffins, and their griffins and them are just like looking at you inside the stables.
Hey, what are you two doing here?
We were the griffins. What are you doing here?
Oh, just checking the ceiling, you know.
Oh, okay. Why? What's on the ceiling?
Did you break the ceiling?
No, never. I'm gonna try to stand up and brush myself off a little.
You have a bunch of hay and dirt stuck to this oil that you put all over some
What?
of your body. Like it's like
Oh, wait,
What did you do?
Shrug. You know, just a normal day.
there's also some of Solana's feathers stuck to you. Like you've kind of been like tarred and feathered a little bit. Like,
It is a nice feeling. You're right.
It is. Good job over there on the griffins.
Diana,
Yeah, we did well.
Diana, you've heard this. You heard all this commotion happening from upstairs. Jolin, Orange Peel, and Sarvin had gone upstairs with you, but they're kind of keeping to themselves right now. Is there anything that you would had in mind in particular? It looks like there's two of the Zenturum are kind of napping in some in some of their
Damn, there
bedrolls.
too.
Yeah, there's two up there taking their rest for the day.
Okay. I just remember the last thing that you told me, which was that Diana had a vision of Zolkin.
Uh-huh. Yeah?
Yeah, she's flipping out a little bit. Just a little bit. Is there like a single like secluded corner away from all of these people?
Yeah, you can kind of get some peace and quiet in a corner. This loft area is relatively large because it expands the whole length of the stables themselves on the top. Like there's no like dividers up here. It's kind of just like a big open room. But you can kind of get away from people and kind of move to this side. I mean, it's a large area.
Okay, I'm gonna find one of these corners and as like discreetly as I can take out my stone.
Okay. Sure.
And what kind of check would it be to see if it's a cursed item?
Go ahead and make an intelligence arcana check for me.
Both?
Oh, wait, I think it is. Arcana is based on intelligence, right?
Okay.
So you can make an arcana check. Muffin feels a disturbance in the force.
Oh no!
You're you know some things about it that there's something that this is definitely attached to that dagger somehow in some way, based on your knowledge that you guys had when you took Kella's gem and shattered it, and the fact that gem from the dagger disappeared definitely leads you to believe that there's some sort of connection here, but you're not sure in what way.
I need to get that dagger. I wanna try something.
Okay.
Remove curse.
Okay.
If I believe, like, I know that I believe that there's a connection. Do I believe that, like, I might be cursed because of this connection?
Let's see. As you're reciting your incantations and holding this, Sarvin is kind of like over on the other side, just like his head kind of points over, kind of like looks at you kind of awkwardly. I know you're secluded, but she still would be kind of verbally kind of casting this spell there. But
I
you
snap
don't
on him.
You don't
Mind your business.
It's in the middle of the incantations. Mind your business. Oh, it goes on casting. Sarvin's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'll go back to. It goes back to whittling every now and then, just kind of peeking over his shoulder. You don't feel like you're not 100% sure, but you don't feel like this spell did anything regarding this. You don't feel cursed. You don't feel changed. Nothing seems to be happening that would, like, some curses have physical effects. Some curses have, some of them do something to you, but you haven't really felt that or had that. I mean, you've had these visions and stuff, but you're not sure if those are related to the dagger themselves or if they're just bad dreams from an interesting and awkward relationship.
Is there a possibility that I can crack the gem and not break it?
Crack it and not break it.
Yes.
It would be
I wanna
very difficult.
Oh nope, then we're not doing it. Nope.
You're just afraid a crack in the gem might make it so fragile that it might shatter into more than one piece. It's a hard piece of material, and you'd have to hit it pretty hard to even crack it, and you're not sure if you hit it too hard. Maybe in pieces.
Okay, I know that Kella's had a note in it. Does mine?
It didn't have a note in it. It had a note with it that Kella had.
Oh. So I don't have a note.
You didn't get a note. No. Yours was
Did
more.
I keep the note?
His was more.
Sorry.
His was more verbal towards you.
Yeah. So do I have do I still have the letter? I don't know. I don't remember if I like ripped it up and threw it away or if I kept it.
I don't 100% know. For some reason, I think somebody had destroyed it.
I think so too. I think I might have given it to Callista. Like here.
I think she lit it ablaze in her hand, if I remember right.
No, wait, yes, because Diana was like, I don't need men. I have a cute cat now. All right.
Yeah, I gave you the letter, and then after you had it for a few days, you gave it back to me and told me to like get it out of your mind. Basically, I think is what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and when you guys were in Zethros' tower, you had like drawn a picture of Zulkin hanging on it, and you were throwing like daggers at it and stuff.
Throwing darts at it. Okay, I'll put the gem back in its hiding spot in my brassiere.
Okay.
And I'll, Diana doesn't even want to like go train with griffins right now. I want to like roll out my bedroll and just take a nap. I don't want to go deal with people. So that's Diana.
Okay. Diana, as you lay down, you're laying there kind of, staring up at the ceiling where you can see kind of like the beams and the top of the vaulted ceiling a little bit. Then all of a sudden you just hear probably about maybe a foot from your face. You hear, "Are you okay?"
Is that the king of the first bar?
He's like kneeled down next to you, and his face is only like a foot away from your face. He's like, "Would you like to talk, young lady?"
Oh.
Not in the slightest. And I turn over and I throw my covers over my head.
I'm sorry. Talking is something I'm very good at.
I pull the covers back. I'm aware. Thank you. And I put them back up.
Fair enough. And you hear him just kind of walk away.
And that's it. That's my turn.
Okay. And my turn. Nice. So Lachlan is trying to brush off some of the things from his oily self. And Molfin, are you approaching any of the griffins to try to bring them out?
Sure, I suppose I'll go pick my fight with Devaney.
Devaney, excellent. So go ahead and make an animal handling check, Molfin. And if there's anything else you would like to do, like anybody you can try anything that you guys want to at this point with these creatures. Huh. This is going to be kind of like almost like a little bit of a skill challenge basis on how you guys do this. So any creative things that you can think of or ways that you guys can use your skills to help you in any of these tasks, feel free. I leave it up to you, adventurers. To you and the dice.
Okay. So Molfin is going to walk over to Devaney.
And Molfin wasn't even there yesterday, so Molfin doesn't know the details of Devaney that Dasharra had given out to the rest of the party. So we'll see how this goes.
Being a little nervous, Wolfen is going to go into his inside of his robes, take a little pinch of something out of a bag, and sort of palm some dust, and walk over to Devaney and see what happens.
Yeah, you're still exhausted, so you have disadvantage at this point.
Thanks for the reminder, Diana. So it basically is he's walking up and going to attempt this. If things go sideways, he's just going to throw the dust in his face.
Okay.
And literally just face himself with the dust.
So Lachlan, you approach, and you can see that the door with Devaney is locked in front of you. It's just a simple standard lock that just kind of opens up from the outside. These creatures, they don't really try to get out or unlock their doors. So
give it a little, and then open the lock.
All right, go ahead and make your roll. Okay, so immediately after you open up the door, Molfen, Devaney starts to basically run out of the stable.
Right in the face as she starts charging, Wolfen freaks and throws the
you just throw the dust
in his face.
So pixie dust. That's what you're throwing in yourself? Yep. Okay, go ahead and roll a D100 for me, please.
Hoping this is a fly out of the way.
Oh.
Yeah, you start to lift off the ground, Molfen.
Hopefully just enough to clear as she runs underneath.
Oh yeah, she runs right underneath you. If you would like to, you can try to just land on her back if you want to.
I'll try to grab her as she runs by.
Okay, to grab her as she's running by, go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
It's a +1 on this one too.
You're trying, but the fact that you're like lifted up, you're unable to get your hands down, like you're unable to shift your body as you're like floating in the air. And you basically what you do is you just turn yourself upside down, and now you're floating upside down in the air, and and she has moved on outside, kind of running past Callista and Ashlyn with their griffins. And she just stands there next to the other griffins without her rider.
Malfa just, as he's hanging upside down, beard and mustache hanging, it's in front of his face. I will certainly remember that. We'll discuss this further later.
This was Devaney, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you notice that when Devaney comes out there, guys, like, Devaney has this almost like heroic stance to her when she stands. Like, it's kind of like, imagine this griffin standing on the top of a mountain with the sun behind her, like, with silhouetting with, like, this bold, heroic Superman almost stance as it stands there. Like, there's this essence of this heroicness about this griffin that none of the other griffins really have. It's just like, she's above the rest when it comes to her leadership and heroic nature.
I go, Uncle Molfen, are you upside down looking at the ceiling too?
Molfen,
Lachlan and I already checked it out.
Molfen, you're starting to get a little bit of a headache because the blood's running to your head a bit.
It has nothing to do with the blood, my friend. I am upside down, my dear, so I can investigate the floor.
Oh, okay.
As Lachlan has checked the ceiling, I must make sure the floor is in proper working order.
That must make sense. Okay. How is the floor?
Molfen, imagine a normal stable floor. It's just dirt. with some hay scattered around, some twigs, some things just lying all over the place.
The floor is very dirty, Ashlyn. It seems like whoever was meant to clean this yesterday must not have done a very good job.
Oh, that was me. But don't get your beard dirty.
Dusting with it.
All right.
I'm just gonna take some time to start grooming Malik and kind of keep him calm before I attempt to try to ride him.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, you're kind of grooming Malik a little bit. Malik, you kind of find kind of like on a dog. You find like a sweet spot a couple times. His back leg kicks a little bit.
Doe.
Seems to be enjoying that very well. The rest, Lachlan, you've
Yeah.
kind of picked yourself up. You can either try to go back after, was it Solana? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Solana. You can either go back after Solana, or who's our last member of that party that's
Quen.
still there? Quen is also there. So you've got Solana and you've got Quen.
Hey, Gramps, watch how it's done. And I'm gonna take the oil and kind of smear it around myself a little more, and I want to find maybe some feathers in the ground and like put more griffin feathers on me.
Oh.
And I want to approach Solana again because wounded pride.
Okay.
And I want to use minor illusion to make sounds like a comforting mother griffin, like.
Yes, nice. Okay, go ahead and make your animal handling check with advantage. For using these sounds with your minor illusion.
Alrighty, animal handling. Did I hit it?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you got it.
Good job.
Solana seems to tilt her head to the side a bit, hearing this and seeing these feathers on this little gnome in front of her. And it kind of calms her down a bit. You think you could definitely kind of get her out and approach the rest of the group now.
All right.
And
Lucky I didn't have to chew up food and spit it or something.
Diana, even though you're trying to get some rest, you can hear all this commotion going on beneath you. As you can hear the wonderful adventures of your party as they're attempting to get these griffins out just outside. And
I will still try. Would you say medicines that might make me sleep?
oh, some medicine that will make you sleep. Okay.
Yeah. Do I have like cleric Benadryl? What do I got?
Yeah, you got some cleric Benadryl. Yeah. You take
I'm
some.
gonna pop like 3 and take a nap.
It's the liquid kind. You just kind of take a quick little. It's in like a little flask.
I take a shot and I sleep.
Okay.
I take a short rest because
Okay.
we're napping.
Yeah. Take a quick nap. There you go. All right. You guys are able to get all these griffins outside, and actually, with your checks, you guys are able to get them all saddled up and ready to go. And Dasharra kind of approaches all of you and is, well, this is the true test. Today, you will be taking your griffins to flight, and we will have some different tasks for you to accomplish. So, first things first, she points behind you guys, and about 50 yards back in the field behind you, you see what look like these giant metal rings on poles. And they're all hanging, or they're all like standing at different heights. And your first task, she explains to you, is to...
Quidditch!
Yep,
Yeah.
Quidditch.
I was thinking that too.
You guys are going to fly the griffins through these different rings.
This looks easy.
I read about this in a book.
So,
You say so, Rockland.
she basically kind of looks at you, but she says that only one griffin can fly through the rings at a time. So we're going to have some kind of marching order for this to see how this goes. She also explains that without Screecher being in front of you, the griffins aren't going to be on autopilot. They're going to have to be maneuvered. They're going to have to be, you guys are going to have to figure out some ways to calm these beasts into being under your control. Sometimes it could be something creative that you guys can think of to come up with based on your skill sets. Or it could just be just grabbing the reins and just being brute strength, kind of trying to guide them through the air where you want them to go. So, who would like to go first? Do we have anybody that'd like to lead the way?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Ashlyn.
Or Callista. Doesn't matter.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
So Ashlyn steps first, and if Callista, if you want to follow close behind, you can, or you can wait until Ashlyn completes hers to go, or you guys can. As long as one griffin flies through a ring at a time, it's a fairly safe endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
The highest ring looks like it might be between 40 and 50 feet high.
Come on, Callista, we can do this together. It'll be fun. We'll bond.
Sure.
Okay. So, first things first, Ashlyn is the takeoff. How are, like, Dasharra is kind of sitting there. She's like, kind of saying, you remember how she got the things. It was kind of just like an old school horse mush kind of thing that you kind of whip the reins to get her to take off.
Okay.
It was easy yesterday because basically once Screecher took off, all of your griffins basically just took off. But kind of watching what she did and kind of thinking about how she did that yesterday kind of brings back those memories. Gotcha. All right. So go ahead and make an animal handling check.
I'm proficient with water vehicles. This should be the exact same thing.
Oh yeah. Nice. All right. Yeah. You kind of start. It takes Gizzard a moment to kind of figure out what's going on, but eventually his wings just kind of strap out, and you feel the G forces kind of push down on you into the saddle as he lifts off into the air. It looks like you're going to have to make an abrupt right-hand turn to make the first ring, which is about 30 feet in the air. These birds move pretty fast once they get up in the air, so these creatures, not birds, I guess.
I coax him that way.
Okay.
And I say, "You can do it, boy," very encouragingly.
Okay. Go ahead and make this. We'll make this an kind of, it's like you're kind of pulling him that way. So we're making an athletics check for you, Ashlyn, and we'll make it a standard roll as you're kind of pulling him over.
I fly into the hole.
Gizzard's a little stubborn, and he actually turns left instead of right.
Okay.
So you start heading on left. You start flying to the left. And Callista, are you following Ashlyn? You're already noticing Ashlyn having problems controlling Gizzard as he takes a sharp left turn.
Can I try something? I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm hoping I'll tap into the cat side of this thing.
Sure. What would you like to do?
I wanna do dancing lights.
Ah, okay.
And see if I can get it to follow the light as I'm on it to kind of like an obstacle course when you're first training a dog to go through it. You bring traits or either like I'm thinking like a laser pointer for a cat.
Okay. So are they just gonna look like little orbs? Is that what you want them to look like as they're?
I want to have like one big orb.
Okay.
I don't want 4 of them. I want them to be like just one.
Okay. Yeah.
And kind of like. Yeah.
Yeah, so Callista starts enchanting these incantations, and this orb just appears kind of like, 15 feet in front of it. It was Malik, right?
Yeah.
Yep, in front of Malik. Malik kind of looks at it suspiciously at first, and looks at it again. Then all of a sudden, you feel the G-forces push down on you rapidly, and these wings just start going as he starts after this glowing orb. And basically all you're doing is controlling this dancing light. Is that what you're going to do?
through the hoops, basically.
Okay. So is any Mulfin or Lachlan or any of you kind of like going to follow immediately, or are you guys going to kind of stay put and watch as this takes place?
Mulfin was just sort of dumbfounded when the two of them took off and was trying to figure out how to get Devonate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Mulfin, by now you've kind of like been you flew around for a little while. You actually flew to put the saddle down on it was Devaney, right? Yep.
Yep.
You kind of were able to get her kind of settled down a little bit. She's kind of the calmest one out of the group, so it wasn't too difficult to kind of. She was a little awkwardly looking at you as you were kind of like flying around her with the saddle, but so. Callista, you're kind of going over there. Ashlyn, you're struggling to control Gizzard over on the other side, but you're watching as Callista, you can kind of see Callista out of the corner of your eye. This glowing orb is just going through every one of the rings, and Malik is just following suit. And it's like gliding down through the lower ring, and then the wings up high through the 50-foot ring at the top, and you can see this shining, glowing. I guess it would be like a purplish color.
Yeah.
I can just foresee it being purplish blue or something like that as it kind of guides.
It's
through.
usually purple for Callista.
Yeah.
For reasons.
And I'm like, wow, I wish I could cast magic,
And
but
then
I can't.
Ashlyn, is there any, what else would you like to do to try to get control of Gizzard here?
Wow, I'm proficient in so many things. Let me see. I can try to acrobatics him by like standing on him instead.
Okay, let's do that. Yes, make an acrobatics check. Oh yeah. So now Ashlyn may not have control of Gizzard, but she is actually standing on his saddle like a surfboard, holding on with one hand to the reins, and just kind of like just one hand out like this, and just fluttering around. You all right, Matthew?
Uncle Wolfie, are you okay?
You okay?
Tea down the wrong hole.
Oh no! I'm gonna make a roll to see if this acrobatic move is enough to calm Gizzard down. Unfortunately, Ashlyn, Gizzard just kind of keeps on going crazy up there, and you notice that his eyes start to catch something down on the ground. His eyes start to look towards some horses that are tied up to a couple horse posts.
Okay.
And as this is happening, Callista, you're going through your last post, your last ring, and it seems like Malik has done a wonderful job following this circle this orb that you've created. You've got through all of the rings, and you're kind of just flying around right now.
Wow, being a monk is not hopeful.
So, Molfin and Lachlan, what would you guys like to do at this point?
Is there a a small stone or anything on the ground?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
So
easily found.
Molfin's got after watching Callista's beautiful display, that's given Molfin an idea. It's a 3-step process.
Uh-oh.
First, finds rock on the ground, cast light on it.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to. You're still kind of flying around like Peter Pan. So so you go ahead and pick up a rock and you cast light on it, and it's the light starts to have that shimmer and that bright light beaming from it.
Cast Mage Hand at the hand of the rock and send it 30 feet out.
Nice. All right, so you're doing pretty much the same thing Callista did, but just with a different manner of spells and different choices. So
And then landing on Devaney, and once I grab the reins, because I have no idea how to start this thing,
Mhm.
firebolt directly into the ground behind it. Hopefully this can get it to take
Oh
off.
my god!
Okay, Molfin, I need you to go ahead and make an athletics check for me. As Devaney just starts tearing into the air after this firebolt just explodes off the ground behind her, sending shards of just powdery dirt and everything. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Molfin, you roll off the back of the saddle as she takes to flight. Your mage hand is just starting to fly away from you, holding this rock in its hand, and you're just floating while you're just spinning backwards because your pixie dust is still in effect. So you're just like caught in this backwards roll as you're tumbling in the air.
Am I able to get the mage hand through the first ring at least? Oh my word!
How far can the mage
30.
hand go without you?
30 feet from me.
Oh, okay, 30 feet from you. That's it. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I should say, it appears within 30 feet. Actually, no, it just says, oh no, it vanishes if it's ever more than 30 feet away.
Okay. So basically what happens, Mulfin, is the mage hand gets about 30 feet away as Devaney is ripping towards this glowing rock, and then the hand vanishes, and Devaney swallows the rock.
Oh.
Oh.
That can't be good.
Wolfen is just rolling.
Yeah.
Dasharra's gonna be so mad.
So Lachlan, you're watching this take place. What would you like to do?
Oh man, I'm just kind of watching for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
Callista, are you going to try to bring Malik to a stop?
Yeah, I'll bring him back down.
Okay. With the dancing lights, go ahead and make a. Let's make this an athletics check because the landings can be kind of rough.
Okay.
With these creatures as they're kind of bringing you down, so you can make an athletics check as you land. It's not a very hard one since you've got pretty much control. Yeah. You're able to bring the dancing light down. Do you make the dancing light disappear once you're on the ground?
No, I let him play with it if he wants to play with it.
All right, yeah, you're like holding on to the back of the saddle as this creature is just like going like, basically like a cat chasing a laser pointer on the ground. Goes over to and then realizes
I'll
it's
let
not
him
there.
catch it a few
and then
times.
and let him catch it a few times. Yes.
Yeah. Give him some confidence.
Wondering why, for some reason, he can't ever like actually grasp it. It's like nice. All right, Ashlyn,
I have 3 cats, I should know.
you are now looking awesome, like surfing on the back of Gizzard. But you can see that Gizzard is not really wanting to be controlled right now, and he's looking down at a group of horses that are your horses.
Oh, like
yes.
Okay. Oh, I could stunning strike him, but I don't think that would do anything for me. It's really hard, guys. I'm gonna go, Gizzard, and I'm gonna yell at him. I'm gonna be like, we need to turn this way, and I'm gonna sort of. Oh, I have one. I'm majestically surfing. Never mind. I go this way, and I just try to tilt him with one hand.
All right. Go ahead and make. We'll call this, since you're just kind of tilting him with one hand, you're not really like pulling on him or anything. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for joining the adventure. We appreciate that. You're kind of pulling. We'll call this an animal handling check for this one.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, Gizzard.
Nice.
You're able to kind of draw Gizzard's attention off of the horses, and you're able to kind of steer him back on course. You still look ever so elegant as you're standing on there, just like a surfer would be riding the waves. You're able to kind of like cut this sharp turn, and you kind of lean over as you're cutting this awesome turn. Like Lachlan, you're kind of watching in amazement as this is happening. The Gizzard's wings are just out to the side, kind of just gliding to the side, kind of like watching an airplane like make a turn in the sky, and starts to head towards the rings.
Oh, nice! I go, good job, Gizzard.
But you're not sure you'll be able to continue standing on the back of Gizzard and be able to make it through the rings. As you get closer, you can start to see that the rings are probably too small, and they would take you right off the back of Gizzard if you were to go through one.
Okay, I sit.
Okay. All right. Mulfin. You eventually stop. It's kind of like the Price is Right, the giant wheel. eventually you start to slow down, and you come to and your pixie dust starts to wear off, and you start to gradually come down to the ground.
Little queasy.
And as you land there, kind of dizzy and and lightheaded, you can see that heroic stature of Solana just standing there staring at you, and then you see, and that little rock pops out on the ground. It's still glowing.
We're going to do this. Apparently, I'm going to need some assistance. How large are the griffins in terms of, like, do I think an average sized person and a gnome would be able to fit on one?
Yes, but that would probably be about all that they could handle.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
So as Molfin walks right up to Devin and says, "Okay, we'll just try this again." Climbs back into the saddle, gets unseen servant, instructs the servant to get up behind and wrap around Molfin and hold on to the griffin.
So basically, your unseen servant is like basically holding you, and like you're in the front. It's kind of like
It's riding.
Kind of like an adult dude on a motorcycle with a little kid in his lap, you kind of deal.
Exactly. But just holding on to the front of the saddle, almost like an over-the-shoulder seatbelt type thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can feel the presence of your unseen servant behind you. Unfortunately, it only has a strength of 2. So it's not very strong, but you can feel that. So go ahead as it takes off this time. How do you want to lift off this time?
And once more, after the unseen servant is there, cast Mage Hand again, pick up the rock. This time, wave it in front of the eyes, and then push it out to 25 feet away, and just keep it at that distance, like basically much like you do with a laser pointer with a cat, just sort of moving it around, trying to get it interested.
Yeah. So yeah, this seems to work a lot better than your first attempt. She doesn't seem to take off quite as rapidly from the fright that she had before. It takes off out of basically intrigue of this glowing stone that she was able to catch once, and she basically cast it down before you, to kind of like a dog playing fetch. And now this time she's able to start flying and seems to be following the stone. You can feel the comforting presence of your unseen servant behind you on the saddle. Although no one can see the unseen servant, you feel its presence.
Hands up, tap the arms.
Nice. So yeah, Lachlan, anything you'd be doing as Molfin finally gets Solana or Devaney into the air? That's right,
as soon
Devaney.
as they start, as soon as they start taking off, I'm gonna use minor illusion to dangle like a juicy piece of steak in front of Solana, and be like, "Get it, girl!" In my kind of squawking in my motherly way here.
Excellent. Go ahead and make an animal handling check with advantage, Lachlan.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Nice roll.
Basically, that food goes right out in front of her, and she takes off for it. And you're able to kind of manipulate the food and kind of steer her in any direction. Molfin and Lachlan, you guys have no trouble navigating through the rings. Ashlyn, I need you to go ahead and make an additional animal handling check for me to see how the navigation through the rings goes with Gizzard, because Gizzard is probably the most difficult of all of these griffins to control.
Of course.
But you're able to keep him focused. There are a couple moments where you're flying through the rings where you're afraid that Gizzard's going to get close and clip one of them, but you're able to keep him on task and not as distracted. And you are all able to successfully get the griffins through the rings, and you all are managed to land them. And as you guys land, Dasharra is kind of standing there. She's like, "Huh, That was quite impressive. Usually that goes a lot worse for people.
Thank you.
Worse than spinning end over end in the air.
Well, we all have our, it's a different learning curve, but you're able to pick it up on it. I'm pretty impressed. And then she kind of starts to walk away. We're gonna go ahead and take a break. Just give the griffins some time to themselves in the field. They'll be fine.
Okay.
And she kind of like looks over at two of her guards and kind of gives them the eye to kind of like keep an eye on the griffins as they're outside. And you guys are able to take a little bit of a break. This could be an opportunity for everybody to take a short rest if you guys were still kind of sore from what was happening before. So if you need to spend any hit die or anything, you guys can do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of your classes regain some spells for a short rest or not.
I think I get my wild shape after a short rest.
Mhm.
Okay, so we had...
Cool.
I'm gonna go look for Diana, noticing that she wasn't here for this.
Gotta burn a wizard one.
Excellent. Yeah. So during your rest, Callista, you head up top, and you're able to see that Diana is asleep in her bedroll with her head completely covered.
Taking a depression nap. Aw.
Whoa, nice,
I'll
Malvin.
sit. Yeah, nice. I'll sit beside Diana and kind of gently shake her awake.
Diana, you awaken, but you're really groggy from that medicine you just took.
What?
And she gets her hair is all messed up, and she has this raspy voice.
Are you okay?
No, I was taking a nap.
What's going on?
What isn't?
Diana,
It was. Sorry. It was the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I thought you wanted to learn more about the griffins, so we'll have the means to train our babies. What's going on?
I did want to train our griffins and train myself with them. The Shadowfell was just rough, and I'm exhausted, and yeah, and there were like 7 Zolkins that we were fighting. That was fun.
I don't think they were
sorry.
real.
Yeah. I don't know. One of them might have been.
Why do you say that?
When I was leaving, I got taken somewhere else first, this dark area, and when I was there, Zolkin was there, and he grabbed my hands and said we would meet again soon. Happy reunion. Looked just like the day that we met, not that disgusting undead thing. It was awful, and I just didn't want to be around and to deal with all of that, with all of the people and the griffins, and I was just tired, and I just didn't want to deal with it.
You saw a vision? Was it a dream?
I don't know if it was a dream or a vision, if it was some kind of illusion. I'm not sure. Or maybe it really was Zolkin, and he found me and pulled me aside for a minute. I don't know. But I don't know. I was angry at first, and I wanted to find him, and tell him off. Now, I'm just scared, and I just want this to end.
I won't let anything happen to you, Diana.
Callista, do you think I should destroy my stone?
Honestly, I do, but I understand why you're hesitant. And ultimately, it's yours, and it's your decision. I won't force my opinion on yours. But the more we wait, I feel like the more chance he has to get a hold of you.
Exactly. I don't know if... Because what if we do confront him, or what if he does find us, and he can use the stone to control me somehow?
That's my fear too.
I don't know. I'll ask Molfin about it. He knows a lot about the arcane. I think I'll try and see
How
what
long
he
ago
thinks.
did you see this vision?
Not long ago. Literally, like, as soon as we were leaving the Shadowfell, it was like I was interrupted or intercepted, and he said a few words to me and then let me go. And then I was back with everyone else.
This is a stretch, but I'm gonna, at will, just cast it to see if she's affected by anything.
Dispel magic. You're
Or not dispel. Sorry, detect magic.
Detect
Oh,
magic?
Yeah,
this
one.
I mean, what you're trying to detect if she herself has anything?
Yeah.
Not that you can see herself. I mean, Diana, you have magic items on you, right? Do you have any magic items on you?
I have a magic wand and the
Okay.
stone, if the stone is magical at all.
The stone will resonate as magic. And a very the stone resonates a pretty powerful magic. The wand
What
is
kind of
resonating some
magic?
magic as well. That's a good question. It's not good when the DM doesn't know. So we'll say that Callista doesn't know either.
Okay.
Just to save the DM. But yeah, pretty
Bad
But it's not
bad
good.
juju. It's not good. Yes. The magic wand has a magic aura about it too. I can tell you what kind of magic aura that is. I should be able to. Oh, here it is. Matthew, you have hold person, right? I thought somebody has hold person. What kind of magic is hold person?
Let me check.
I have it as a druid, so.
Enchantment?
Yeah.
Hold person and jam.
Yeah, the magic wand is resonating in the enchantment school of magic.
But the bad juju is obviously coming from her chest.
Yes.
The heart area, the heart, okay?
Diana, this is... can I just take a guess that the stone is there? And I put my hand... I don't touch my hand up to indicate.
Yes, and I mean, I can get a new hiding spot if that...
No, it's fine. That's a safe hiding spot considering. I just wanted to make sure you weren't under the effects of something.
I mean, yeah, it's not like Molfin can steal it from here. It's not like he can just reach into my boobs.
Fair point. I keep it there. Don't move it. Don't move it. Keep it there.
I hear a challenge. Molfin knows where it is.
So creepy. No, you don't.
So
Creepy.
So first we
Yeah,
got
keep your hand.
Lachlan spreading himself with oil. Now we got reaching boobs. This is crazy. What kind of episode is this?
What's our rating, Shem?
What kind of a live stream are we
This is the
running?
I know,
NC-17.
that's-
This is the NC-17. episode. Kids, turn away now.
Funny. Awesome.
Oh, and Naked Zombie too. We had that. We started.
Oh
off with
yeah.
that.
We have the stripper zombie. It's naked and it dances.
Yep. Molfin, Lachlan, and Ashlyn, what are you doing while they're having this conversation in the loft? Are you guys headed up there as well, or are you guys headed elsewhere?
No, I'd be heading up to the loft eventually because I'm pretty beat up.
I'd probably be following the rest. Is
Okay.
still slightly disintegrated.
Okay, so shortly after this conversation, and you guys start to see the rest of your party climbing the ladders. And
I would go up to Diana and give her a hug and be like, "We missed you today, but it was cool. But I missed you," and give her a big hug and a kiss on the cheek. So, just like oblivious though. So.
So after Callista and I have that conversation, Ashlyn runs up and
just like lays one on you.
I would like rubbing Diana's back, like comfortingly, like not really saying much, just kind of letting her think about what we need to do next.
Okay.
I take Ashlyn and I'm like, I needed that. Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, just to fill you in, my crazy ex-boyfriend dragged me into another pocket dimension, interrogated me, then threw me back out here before, everything. And he's gonna find us soon. That was what I received from that. And that's why I'm not training griffins.
Ashlyn takes us in and says, "What? Seriously, what rating is the stream?"
What?
She's gonna call this guy some bad words for her name. And be like, "No one touches Diana without my permission."
Oh.
And lays it down like that and says, "We're getting his ass." And we're
Ashlyn, he's on my kill list, number 1.
Ooh, I have a kill list now too. He's on my number 1.
Why does
add
everyone
kill
have
it to your list too?
Okay.
Ashlyn's got a list, and it's like 1 Zulkin, 2 Zulkin, 3 Zulkin. It's just like all the same.
Don't worry, he's on my kill list. We'll get him. It'll be fine.
Oh, I know I'm not supposed to be promoting, kill lists and stuff because it'll matter, but
Oh, you
Kill
don't
that
have to. You don't have to say
put
it
it
out
throat.
Okay. So Lachlan and Molfin, you guys are up hearing all this commotion with the ladies.
Molfin would just sit down, decent little distance away, open the spell book, and just do his thing, actively listening, but trying to appear to not be.
Gotcha. That's what Sarvin's been doing the whole time. Lachlan, what would you be up to?
Bothering Molfin. What you doing?
Nice.
I am studying my spell book. I am recommitting the spells that I've utilized today back to my memories, to best have them on hand if we are needed.
I will go over to Molfin
Molfin,
and I will sit beside him.
before you get there, Molfin, you realize that as you were reading your book, a couple feathers fell into some of the pages off of Lachlan onto your book.
Aw.
Oil boy, get back! You're going to get oil in my book. It's expensive to copy these in.
Oh, yeah.
I resume massaging Diana's shoulders if Callista walks away. In real life, I'm a certified massage therapist.
Ayo.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
Got you covered there.
Awesome.
Molfin, do you have some time to spare?
I suppose I can attempt to be of assistance and close the book, squirrel it away in one of the inner pockets. How can I be of assistance?
I will pull out the 2 spell scrolls and the ring.
Ooh.
Okay, I can definitely take a look at these.
Please.
it will
I'm
take
watching.
a little time, but given
Fine.
about half an hour or so, I should be able to.
I'll just sit with him and watch him do his thing because I'm curious of how he does it anyway.
Okay, excellent. What are you identifying first, Molfin?
We'll start with
Well,
actually,
one
one
spell
of the
scroll-
scrolls you knew.
I know what it is, so I'll give him one of the spell scrolls that we don't know what it is, and then
Okay.
the ring.
All right.
Yep, so we'll start with the spell scroll because that wizard more interesting to him.
Right, that's what I figured. So
Yeah, Molfin kind of undoes the binding that wraps the scroll together. He kind of release it. It's in like a just kind of a standard wooden scroll tube. And he kind of slides the scroll out and he opens it up and starts to read over it and starts to cast the spell. It is a ritual, correct? You're using rituals to do these?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
10 or 11 minutes.
taking you 10 to 11 minutes to recite these incantations and do the motions with your hands, reading over the text of the scroll. This is a scroll of stinking cloud. That you have in front of you.
This one did not come from the rear of Lachlan.
probably.
So,
Hey, Graham, can you like glue this into your spell book? You know, and then you. I have some oil here. If that'll help.
Nice. Stinking Cloud is a 3rd level conjuration. You create a 20-foot radius sphere of yellow, nauseating gas centered on a point within range. The clouds.
I will give him both of the spell scrolls since I don't need either.
Most appreciated, Callista. Put him back into the wooden box and slip him inside, and knows what he'll be doing later. And then as a secondary cat, and I'm assuming Callista would have told me what this other spell scroll was.
But yeah, meld the stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, meld the stone.
And then
You're
once the DM is ready, we'll do the ring.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll
Yeah.
actually pull out the jellyfish potion too since we're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that one too.
Why
So
not?
there's 2. Yeah, since we're here.
You mean my pet?
The ring, Molfin, as you are reciting your same ritual, you discover that this is a ring of water walking.
Moby could have used that.
So, so when you anyone who's wearing this ring, you don't have to attune to it. Anyone who's wearing this ring basically moves across the surface of any liquid, just as if it was a solid ground.
Any liquid.
A liquid. That's I believe that's what it says in the book.
It's like lava, poison, it's like everything.
Yeah, basically any liquid. It's kind of like solid ground to you.
Muffin will hold up, look at Gizzard. Well, this one here will permit people to walk across a fluid surface as if it was ordinary dirt or wood as we're sitting on now.
I guess that could be helpful.
Muffin will hand that back over to Callista, and then I'm not going to click it again. Ritual
yeah.
class to identify on the potion.
Oh yeah. You find that the potion is a potion of water breathing,
Oh.
which allows you to spend basically an hour. I believe it's an hour. You're able to breathe underwater, just as you were breathing air.
After the time's up. Where was this wonderful little thing when that bloody fool jumped off the tower?
Both of them could have helped Moby.
I think the gods are trying to tell us something.
Yeah.
This is a potion of water breathing. If you know of someone who may need this more than I, as Moby is not returned yet, and it has been well over
Fair.
5 minutes. We need to
Fair.
teach that ingrate how to tell time.
Nice.
Quite.
But
A long
if
5
they,
minutes.
if they swallow the fluid, and one must make sure to swallow the jellyfish, they can breathe underwater.
It's my pet. I named him Ferguson.
Ferguson. Ashlyn calls out from across the room. This.
Ferguson is like that small, limbless worm that lives inside certain hard alcohols.
Ugh.
He's meant to
I
be
don't
drank.
know what you're talking about. But be nice to Ferguson.
Often makes a motion like he's going to pop the cork and drink it. And then hands it to Callista.
Nice. As you're finishing up all these rituals, it takes a little while to get through all this kind of like you're back and forth figuring out what these things are. You guys all of a sudden start to hear a little bit of commotion coming from outside. It sounds like shouting of the guards kind of back and forth. You can hear Dasharra's voice kind of raised, and it sounds like people are rapidly kind of walking back and forth, the guards and things. They're kind of shouting like on top of each other, so you're really having trouble hearing what exactly they're saying, because it sounds pretty desperate and frantic.
Okay, I go down the ladder.
Okay.
Molfen goes over to the door right after Asher walks out and yells out at them. Do you idiots mind? We're trying to study up here.
Dasharra looks at you with this just nasty look, her eyes squinted towards you, Molfen. It's like, how dare you?
How dare you?
No! No!
Throwing down.
We're dealing with a situation here. We don't need this nonsense.
I go downstairs.
Okay, yeah, you guys head on. So it looks like the guards are kind of almost the ones that were watching the griffins are like really nervous and really like frantically looking around. And as you guys are kind of looking, you notice that one of the griffins is missing.
Oh no!
And Ashlyn, you immediately recognize that Gizzard is gone.
Oh no, not my poor Gizzard. Where'd he go?
Oh, and Dasharra's just like walking around. She's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to take to the air. And she starts heading into the.
Do you need help?
If you'd be willing to help, it would be great.
I'll come with her.
Me too.
Okay.
Wait, Oh, Gizzard wandered off.
I'll go
I
as well.
suppose we should all be of assistance. This is probably somehow Diana's fault.
Okay, I go
And Bill
over.
Lachlan weren't here.
Do we hear this?
Do you hear Molfen saying that?
Yeah.
Well, you guys went downstairs. I think Molfen was still up in the.
Okay, so,
So
we
I
hear
think the only person, Lachlan, were you still upstairs with Molfen?
I was heading downstairs with everybody.
Okay, yeah. So you were probably the only one that heard it. You were probably only like a couple
Okay.
rungs
I
down.
would have yelled at him.
Molfen hearing all the commotion will start coming down to offer to help with everyone else.
Yeah, you see, like all the guards are just trying to avoid Dasharra as much as possible. They're just like they're trying to keep busy, like looking on the fringes of the edges. Like one of them is way over where the light, the little bit of a light forest was. Whenever you guys kind of broke through, like way off in the distance. Like several of them are two of them kind of grouped together. They're like walking around, like just like looking to the sky on where Gizzard might be. And it just seems to be like just utter chaos, and Dasharra is getting set with Screecher and just kind of saddling up, and you guys are all able to basically get the other griffins kind of saddled up, because Screecher's out there. They all seem to be focused. When Screecher's out, they kind of just focus around him. If you guys remember, that Dasharra said that he was the alpha, basically Gizzard, not the Gizzard, the basically he was the griffin, and he was the alpha. So as soon as he's in the air, basically they all kind of like follow suit. They don't, they don't do all the time exactly what he does, but they try to stick with him as much as possible. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead, since it's 9:30, we're gonna go ahead and take our break right here as you guys are all saddled up and getting ready to head off and see if we can find the missing griffin Gizzard.
Lit.
You can't Gizzard, the Griffin Wizard
No.
King.
He found some meat and chased after it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight, for watching the stream with us here. This is episode 28 of Storm King's Thunder right here at Proficiency Bonus. If you're enjoying the stream, go ahead and hit that follow button up above. If you're really enjoying the stream, you want to just hang out with us and just be a part of our adventuring party all the time, hit that subscribe button. and you can support us. You can also go check us all our past episodes on YouTube and subscribe to us there as well. So we're just going to take a short break, and we will be right back to see how our party does in finding the missing griffon Gizzard. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 28 of Storm King's Thunder right here at Proficiency Bonus. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We're glad that you're with us and on this adventure. Before we left for our break, our party heard some commotion outside of Dasharra's residence as they were continuing to train as griffin riders currently. And it seems that the griffin Gizzard has wandered off and is lost. So, that being said, Dasharra seems to be saddling up Screecher and getting ready to head on out. Before she goes, you see her kind of head back into the stables, and she emerges with a heavy crossbow that she straps to her back.
Oh, yeah.
And she climbs on top of Screecher, and she looks around to all of you who have been able to kind of saddle up these griffins relatively easy. Molfin, are you thinking something?
Yeah, Molfin wants to look at her and say, do you mind if I, ride side saddle, so to speak? I have a little friend, and I'll, have Poochwa climb out of the sleeve of my robe, who I would like to have aid us in this search, but it will make controlling Devaney somewhat catchy.
She looks at you kind of awkwardly at first, and she just says, "Just get on. We don't have time for this." So you're like right in front of this female dwarf as she's getting ready to take off.
And right as Molfin will sort of sit down. The Butchwa circle 100 feet maximum range around us.
Poochwa kind of flicks its snake tongue out a couple times and then just takes off into the air, flapping its bat-like wings as it flaps away.
And telepathic say, "We're looking for another one of these wicked felines."
You can see that the snake is just like fluttering all around like this. They're not very good at flying because they're just like, it's awkward watching a snake try to fly. It's like and Diana and Callista, Ashlyn. Callista, I guess you would just go to Malik.
Yep.
Malik is kind of comfortable. Ashlyn, I'm not sure. We've got Solana and Devaney and Quen.
I
believe
try
Solana
Devaney.
was Lachlan's, right?
Lachlan.
Or yeah.
I'll try Devaney.
Okay. All right, just go ahead and make actually, you don't even have to make a check for this because you guys are right behind Screecher. So
Okay.
basically, it'd be kind of like the first time. Diana, it seems like you've got Quen who's available, but I need you to do me a favor, and I need you to roll a D4 for me so we can see what season Quen is in right now.
And be what?
A D4. Oh, he's in a season of winter.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Not running season, is it?
I guess. How would you say this, Sarah? When Quen is in a season of winter, is more like a depressed, not caring about anything,
Yeah, it's
kind of
more
a
like a forlorn kind of like.
Sort of a
Oh,
cold
wow.
almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'd say pretty lethargic.
Well, yeah. That's good to know. I'll keep that in my notes.
Oh boy.
It's better than summer, Quen.
Yeah. No, it's better than spring. Then you're in for trouble.
So you guys are able to kind of like lift off. Dasharra taking, basically not slowing down at all. She wants to find Gizzard. So rapidly, you guys head on up into the sky. And as you're looking around, basically everybody kind of follows Screecher. So it's not like you guys can like separate and kind of go into other areas. But you guys are kind of headed off. And she kind of steers kind of towards Fireshear. I think she's afraid that Gizzard has done this before and is maybe going after some food or has got this kind of good aroma of something that Gizzard might be interested in. So Gizzard likes to sometimes sneak off whenever he sees an opportunity. So, as you guys are flying for a little ways, you start to see the town of Fireshear below you, and just a little below your vision, you start to see what looks like another griffin flying relatively low towards the ground. And he appears to be following some other, looks like some kind of other flying creature that he's just like kind of like flying behind. It looks like maybe just like a large bird of some sort that he's following behind.
How far away from us is he?
Basically, you guys are about, I don't know, like 60, 70 feet in the air right now. And he's kind of like 20 feet in the air, like right above just kind of like right above some small trees, tree line, as you guys are heading towards Fireshear. But he's still a little bit farther ahead of you guys. I would say, I mean, he looks relatively small in the distance from where you guys are flying. So several hundred feet probably.
Mulfin is going to telepathically point this out to Puchwa and have him maximum range out towards Gizzard.
Okay.
And he's readying a spell to cast as soon as Puchwa's within touch range.
Okay. Excellent. So Puchwa, you can see it. Puchwa is able to... what's Puchwa's flying speed?
60 feet.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me double check the Griffin's flying speed here. Because you guys are all flying together. Should be right here. Where did it go? Where did it go?
Gizzard took him with him when he ran away.
Oh, wow. No, their flying speed is 80 feet. So they can move pretty fast. So basically you say that, but you can sense that Puchwa is trying really hard to keep up with you guys. He's flapping his wings, just flying as hard as he can. Kind of like he wants to say yes, sir, but he's trying the best that he can. Then you guys all notice, kind of almost seemingly out of nowhere at first, this large net just totally covers up Gizzard. And the net itself, with these large stones attached to the edge of it, kind of bring Gizzard down to the ground and pin him down. And you see to the right, kind of emerging from some thick brush, are these two, what you guys recognize as frost giants. Female frost giants. One of them has these two large braids that kind of come down on the side of her head. One of them is has this really kind of almost like dirty white hair that kind of comes down, and has this helm that has some kind of animal fur that wraps around the bottom of it and has these spiky horns on the top. And one of them's holding like this really massive old wooden great club, and the other one has a spear, and they look like they look happy that they've just put this net over top of Gizzard and kind of pinned him down to the ground.
What's the range from Mulfin?
As you guys are approaching, you can see they're probably about 150 feet away from you right now.
The second Mulfin is within 120 feet, firing off a spell.
Okay. Anybody else?
I didn't have a prepared action. Can I still fire off something?
You can prepare one right now.
Okay, I'll prepare something.
Okay, you're still 150 feet away, and they have not noticed you yet.
I'll prepare. Yeah, I'll prepare Scorching Ray. So.
Okay. What's the range on that?
The range on that one is 120.
Okay, so basically yours would go off the same time as Mulfin's. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's the rest of you? What do the rest of you do?
I want to fly directly over them and then jump on one of their back.
Maybe I should do
You're gonna fly over them and jump on one of them's back?
Yeah, and then hit them.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent.
Yeah, I wanted to prepare and kind of dive bomb, and once I'm within 60 feet, I'm conjuring 2 dire wolves.
Okay.
in front of the.
Okay.
I'm gonna pat Solana and just say, "Come on, we gotta help Gizzard," and start loading up my cross.
Okay. You
And
guys
this-
see Dasharra as well is getting her crossbow off of her back, and she throws a bolt in it and starts to get it ready to go as well.
And quick question: is this this prepared action? Can I make this a call shot?
I don't really do call shots. I
Okay.
mean, you can do the
Fair enough.
attack, and if it rolls like a crit, we can say that it kind of does what you want it to do.
I just want to aim at the face.
Okay, sure.
I want this to be a shock and awe. It's not looking for any, but specifically, what in the, you hit in the shoulder, you may not notice, but something smacks you in the face, you're going to pay mind to it.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and change our music.
Uh-oh.
and I'm gonna put a nice turn order up here. And if you guys want, what we'll do is we'll just this is one of those another one of those wonderful theater of the mind moments. Because I looked and looked and looked for maps of Fireshear before this episode, and there isn't one. So we're gonna use our theater of the mind just like we did last week, and I'm going to throw up. You know what? Let's throw this up there. I'm going to. Were you guys able to click and roll initiative? Oh, you guys are pulling your tokens out onto the map.
I did.
Oh, we
yeah.
have
Okay.
to pull our token.
Yeah, if you want to pull your token out onto the map and click on it and roll your initiative, you can do it
I
that way.
only know how to pull out Giant Diana. I
Me
don't
too.
know
Here,
how to.
I can pull Diana out if you need me to.
Can you pull out Ashlyn too? Because she's
There's Giant Diana. There she is.
Hello, Diana.
Hello, Diana.
Oh my gosh!
okay.
Welcome, Diana. We are so
All
glad
of
that you.
Faerun is in peril.
Oh,
Yeah, there's only Giant Ashlyn too. actually.
yeah, that's fine. You know what? Honestly, it's not showing me
Yeah.
any of my character sheets in Opera. So I'm not able to do that for you guys. So just use the giant figure, and if we need to add you to the initiative order, I'm gonna have to roll everything in my tray again because this, for some reason, it didn't load all of my character sheets. Hey, fantastic!
Ooh, I rolled high again.
Ooh, look, everybody rolled kind of high. Let's.
Nope.
I
No.
gotta roll.
Fun stuff. Let me go ahead and put in, let's go Frost Giants. We'll add that to the order, and I'll go ahead and put in their wonderful initiative.
Good.
And we'll put Dasharra on there as well. So let's see. Dasharra. Dasharra didn't do bad. Not terrible. Cool. Everybody roll initiative.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and put that in descending order. Bourgeois is going to be first to go. But the first thing that's going to happen is, as you guys approach within 120 feet, Diana and Mulfin, you guys unleash your spells. And
I
let me
didn't
go.
hear you.
Oh, as you.
Yeah, I muted. I'm going to burn my nat 20.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good thing you did.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, this music.
Yeah.
Is it too loud?
No,
No.
it's good.
It's good. Okay. All right.
And a nat 20 doubles the die, so it is 4d10.
4d10. Oh my goodness. So which one are you slamming into? The one that's kind of got the braided hair, or the one that's got the helm?
The one with the sword, the one with the spear.
The one with the spear? Okay.
19 damage, 19 fire to the face.
Nice.
What?
19 fire to the face. Oh, ouch. Excellent. All right. So you slam the one with the helm, you said, right?
You said one had a club and one had a spear, so I'm aiming for the one with the spear.
Okay, gotcha. That's the one with the braided hair as well.
Okay. So we're just going to call that one Brady.
Okay.
All right. So, Scorching Rays also come as we got to get rid of the nat 20 as Molfin has expended it to slam into this frost giant's face with a blast of fire and flame.
Did how many hit?
Oh, good question. Let's see. The second one is a hit. The other two go sailing off above the frost giants. Are you aiming for the same one that Molfin just hit, or the other one?
The other one.
Okay. So go ahead and roll damage for the second one as this blast of fire just slams into the frost giant.
That was gonna be more impressive than it was.
That is okay. You still did some damage as the flames kind of dissipate, and kind of you see some of the patchwork armor that she's wearing kind of get marked up and blackened by the flames. And now they are both like looking up as this mass of griffins are coming down upon them. And that brings us to Pouchois in the turn order. Still about 120 feet away.
Okay, then Pouchois will take the dash action and fly all the way up right next to the literally and basically just sit on the braided one's shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, Pouchois nestles down on top of the braided one's shoulder as the braided one watches him sit down on her shoulder. I guess that would be everything that he could do.
Everything Pouchois can do right now.
All right, that takes us to Lachlan.
All right, I want to try to get Solana to pause in the air here.
Okay. So
And kind of just flap her wings, keep us aloft.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check for that.
Oh boy.
Because you're trying to take her from following Screecher.
And I'm gonna burn some luck.
Oh, okay. Burn some luck. Yeah. Okay, so she is a little resistant at first because usually her commands are to follow Screecher no matter what. But you're able to kind of, with the training that you've had with her before, you're able to kind of pull her back a little bit and kind of keep her steady. She's kind of just like flapping in place about 120 feet away.
All right, then I soothe her. I say, come on, Solana, let's do this. And I pull out my crossbow and I'm going to fire it at the giant who Molfin hit.
Okay, excellent. So the one holding the spear with the braided hair is just staring at this little tiny flying snake that just landed on her shoulder.
And
that is going to fly by the other side over her shoulder. As it zings by, she kind of looks back and forth, trying to see exactly where it came from. Looks back up to you, Lachlan, and it looks like it's got a very angry look in her eyes. You can hear her say. You can hear her say something in Giant. Can you speak Giant? Okay.
No.
Okay. It sounds like a bunch of.
What'd she say?
Giant.
Would Molfin hear it, or no?
Molfin, yeah, you would hear it. You hear along the lines of I'm gonna kill that one first.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Lachlan, anything else you'd be doing on your turn?
That's it for my turn.
It for your turn. Excellent. We go to Diana.
I am going to just circle around and get within 60 feet of them so I can cast Fairy Fire.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my action.
All right. So it's your action as you cast. So they have to make a save. Dexterity.
Dexterity.
Okay, I'm going to roll for these dexterity saves. Whew. What's the DC on this?
15.
One fails, one passes. So
Dang.
as you're just reciting these incantations, you see one start to glow, and it was the first one who failed. So the one that Mulfin has been attacking with the braids and the spear in her hand starts to glow this yellow glow all around her.
Excellent.
And anything else you'd like to do?
If I have any movement left, hover back up and away. I think I was 120 feet away before, so 80 minus 120 is probably 60, right? I don't know, math.
Oh no, math. Oh no, math. Is it 40?
Yes.
You
So
have
I'm
20
gonna
feet left.
take-
You have
Yeah,
20 feet left.
Yeah, you have 20 feet left.
I'm gonna get another 20 feet away. I'm gonna be 80 feet away.
Okay. All right. You have no problem doing that whatsoever. It goes to Ashlyn.
And I automatically forget how far away we are.
You're 120 feet.
Okay.
So in order to do what you were planning is you'd probably have to dash this turn.
Okay.
You'd have to use your movement and your action to dash and basically do your move next turn in order to do that. But
I
if
have a longbow. I'll get in range. And
Okay.
Take 2 shots with my longbow at least.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'll use my movement to get there though, to get as far as I can,
Okay.
and then I'll take a shot with the longbow.
All right.
And then-
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that will
I'll
hit.
take and then
Which one are you attacking? The one with the helmet on, or the one with the braided hair?
the braided hair.
Braided hair, excellent.
So I'm gonna be landed on her when I can.
Yeah, that's right. Family Molfin going for the same one.
So yeah, as you're on the back of the griffin kind of flying, you take your longbow out, you pull back, got that arrow steady, you're trying to hold it as steady as you can, and you let loose, and it's a perfect shot, hits her right in the shoulder, and you can hear her kind of groan in pain from the distance that you're at.
And then I'm gonna try to hit her again.
Okay.
Get 2 strikes.
Nice shot!
Ooh.
That one goes, this time she sees it coming, and she's able to kind of
Okay.
move slightly to the left.
You said the braided one is fairy fire. It's advantage.
Oh, it's advantage. That's right.
Ooh,
It is the braided one that's
nice.
fairy fired, right?
Okay.
Yes,
good
you're right.
one.
So that one strikes
Thanks,
as well.
Mulfin.
Yes, go ahead and roll your damage. Thank you, Mulfin.
Alright, there we go.
All right, another 10 points of damage.
Wow.
We got to
Nice.
show Diana how to take down a giant.
So just you don't feel as confident about this shot as you let it loose, Ashlyn, but that glow of this creature just seems to help to guide your arrow to its mark, and it just almost like strikes it almost like just about 3 inches away from where you struck it the first time. So it's actually a pretty good shot.
Cool. And that's my turn.
All right. Oh boy, that might be too loud. Let me know if the music ever gets too loud, guys.
Okay.
And same goes for you, Twitch chat. If it gets too loud, let us
Yeah,
know.
gets too
Just
loud,
shout
let
it
us
in the
know.
chat. We got to watch.
Sure.
We're watching you.
Excellent. Dasharra is just going to start heading towards the giants, and she's going to go ahead and take a shot with her heavy crossbow. As she lets this go. She rolls a 17. I think that's going to hit. Yes. She definitely strikes. And that's a D10. Nah. Strikes it with the crossbow, but it doesn't seem to do very much other than to annoy the one with the helm and the great club. And she continues to kind of fly around. She kind of is keeping her distance and starting to load another crossbow bolt as we go to Mulfin. You might be muted.
One day I will learn to use my voice when I'm speaking.
That would help
Wolfen will,
him open.
Wolfen will look at Dasharra. No. Get closer. Fly me up over their head.
She's like,
And,
closer?
Yes, up above them.
Okay.
Don't doubt me. I'm feeling much better than I have in years.
Okay, you guys are still about that 60 feet up. So I'm not sure what exactly what are you thinking about doing this round?
No, I'm telling her to do that next one. This one,
Okay.
Going back to Brady. Another
Brady.
firebolt.
All right, we'll have advantage as the fire stems out and it strikes again as you're able to see her easily thanks to Diana's fairy fire. And wow, another 12 points of fire damage.
Yeah.
As this fire, you guys are doing a number on this braided fire giant. You can see some of the fire kind of catches on one of her braids a little bit as this firebolt strikes into her.
And then Giant Molfin will yell out from his perch. If you retreat now, you may make it out of here alive. You will not receive the offer a second time.
You could just see the anger in her face as she hears you using her language and talking towards her like that. That brings us to Callista.
How close are the two giants to each other?
Within 10 feet.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
I'm changing my plan here. 20 feet, so like it hits both of them. They both have to make a dex save.
Oh
Or take
boy. Or take half?
Take half or full.
So
If they make it, they take half.
that's dexterity, a DC 15. That's going to fail.
Yep.
And that's going to fail. So
Yeah.
they what exactly does this look like whenever you do it, Callista? What's this erupting earth?
Think like earthbending and toss just punching upward and then two
Nice.
pillars smash them both together.
Awesome. Yeah, so all of a sudden the earth around all these frost giants is almost like forming those fists that Molfin sometimes does, but these are vicious and they're just punching into the frost giants on either side. And it looks like they're kind of rattling these giants. They kind of bump into each other as the earth is forcing them around and changing their focus. Oh wow, 21 points of damage.
Nice.
Nice job. Gosh. Yeah,
And I will get within 60 feet of them above.
okay, 60 feet above. The braided haired one looks beat down. She has taken quite a bit of damage. There's, torch marks all over from all this fire damage that she's taken. She's glowing this divine glow that just seems to all of a sudden erupt around her. And now the earth itself is just pummeling her. So you guys have done quite the number. It's their turn. The one with the spear looks towards you guys, then looks over at the ground where Gizzard is, runs over about the 20 feet to Gizzard, and begins...
It's difficult terrain now, though. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Okay, so that basically took all her movement to get there as she's trying to kind of wrestle around with all these... Just the earth is just kind of shattered at those parts, so it's hard for her to actually walk across. And she's able to she uses her action to kind of just scoop up Gizzard in this net and kind of just toss him over her shoulder, just like that. And the other one grabs a large stone from the ground and whips it up towards... Who said they were flying 60 feet above? Was that Callista? Throws a boulder towards Callista, flying on the back of the griffin. So let's see how this does.
Is Callista 30 feet away from me?
Is she what?
within 30 feet of me?
We could say that, yes.
Okay, I cast Warding Flare.
So it will be with disadvantage. As this
Yeah.
bright light shines from Diana, Diana calling upon her deity
Or no,
Ilmater.
wait. I think the rule is actually that the giant needs to be within 30 feet.
Has to be within 30 feet of... Okay.
I have to be within 30
Okay.
feet of the giant, so
Okay.
scratch that.
So this
Because
is
that's
gonna...
the creature we're
This
trying to
stone
find.
comes out. And let me double check. I don't think that's going to be... Callista's armor class is only 12. That will strike Callista. And
I'm sorry.
Okay.
as this stone heads up.
Oh no.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll,
Sarah knows.
rolled low. And it does 20,
What?
25 points of bludgeoning damage
Oh my goodness.
as this stone
you okay?
smacks into you. And I need you to go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Ooh, no.
And
Oh,
now,
no.
now I need you to make a either strength or dexterity saving throw. You decide.
Oh God.
As you start to fall off of your saddle.
Callista's dead, fam, because I didn't beast shape.
And she starts to slip.
Oh no.
And she's falling. And she's falling and she's falling.
And we all see this.
Yeah.
Can
Molfin screams, "Lachlan, Featherfall!"
Roger that, Grams.
It's a reaction.
It is a reaction, isn't it?
Is
It's a
it?
reactionary spell, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
What's
Nice.
the distance on this thing? Hold on.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah, you're only...
Yeah. Let me see the.
Oh yeah, you're within
Ooh.
range.
I am cool.
Yeah. You're within 40 feet.
Fire
Alright.
it off on her.
All right. As Lachlan sees Callista getting knocked off the griffin,
Oh, that hurt.
yeah,
Oh, that really hurt.
you start to rapidly slow your fall, as you can feel you're just kind of just falling softly towards the ground,
Okay.
and that will end the frost giant's turn and bring us back to Pouchois, who is still sitting on the shoulder of this braided frost giant.
And Bourgeois is just, at this point now, going to fly up and just sit, like, right on the nose, right between the eyes.
The frost giant's just like kind of like getting ready to like swipe back and forth. Lachlan, you were able to I guess you have to. Oh, that spell is a 1 minute spell. Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking to see if it was concentration or anything. All right.
Oh, and I guess I was able. Oh, interesting. So I guess I get to choose up to 5 falling creatures as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can.
So I guess that's all 5 of us, and Dasharra's on her own.
All right, so you guys are all casted with Featherfall right now for the next minute.
Nice.
Just in case.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
just-
it has to be 5 falling creatures. It looks like. We're not. we're probably
When
not.
you or a creature within 60 feet of you falls,
Falling creature.
choose up to 5. Yeah, they have to be falling in order to
Yeah.
cast it on them. So
Okay.
it would only be
Alright.
Callista right now.
Okay.
It's not concentration though, so it's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. So I want to kind of pat Solana and say, Solana, I'm out of magic, so don't fly too crazy. And then I'm gonna pull out my crossbow and try to shoot the braided one again.
Okay, the braided one, sure. She had just gotten the net with Gizzard kind of put over top of her shoulder.
Not my gizzard.
Not my Gizzard. Oh, wow. Yes. That strikes exactly where you want it to hit.
And I think it's probably also sneak attack because she's all fairy fired and stuff, and that gives me my advantage.
It does, yes. The fairy fire
nice.
gives you the sneak attack thanks to Diana and Ilmater again.
Bless up. Call my
The
glory.
damage and, oh, great sneak attack there.
Wow.
It's still 17 damage.
Yeah, and this strikes her right in the neck. And as it strikes, Pouchois kind of looks at the bolt rapidly, then like kind of like looks back up at Lachlan like
Sorry, Pouchois, sorry. That's my turn.
Okay. So we go to Diana, who has just witnessed the rock slam Callista off of Malik.
In the fear, as she could do absolutely nothing as her friend falls. I want to use my my movement to swoop down and try and like catch her as she's feather falling and hold her.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd probably be about half of your movement to do that. So you still have about 40 more feet.
Okay, I'll use my movement to do that, to catch her and have her next to me on my griffin.
Yeah, so Callista, you gently fall into Diana's arms as this other griffin swoops down underneath.
Bride style, like the...
Yeah, it's
My hero.
it's like it's like you can just see Callista falling, and then all of a sudden, out of the background, there's Diana and just scoops.
And how bad are you? What's your health?
I'm down half.
Yeah, she's looking pretty beat up. She's got some blood coming down off the side of her lip. She got quite the doozy there. And she didn't roll well on that attack either. So
okay,
Yes, it did. Did it hurt what I thought? Yes, it did.
The second time I only rolled like a 3 and a 1. So.
Damn.
So, you get 9 points of healing, which is not a lot, but you know.
It's fine.
Right.
And,
yes. You can feel the blessing of Ilmater come across you, Callista, as Diana prays over you. In the process of catching you, it's kind of like one swift motion. Like she catches you out of the air and she's praying at the same time, and you can feel this energy come back into your body.
And I wanted to use Thaumaturn, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's an action, and I can't.
Is your cure wounds is an action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically all you have left is about 40 feet of movement and a potential bonus action.
Okay, can I still make my bonus action anyways to yell at these creatures in giant? Oh man.
Yeah.
To just... I want to, like, put Callista on the back burner. I don't know how to do that. Just get her out of my arm. Behind me.
Yeah, as you're doing that, you can kind of have a sense that it's kind of awkward for the griffin to have 2 medium-sized or larger people kind of on the back, just because of the way the wings are and the saddle, the way it fits. It just kind of makes it difficult for the griffin.
Okay, but I want to yell in giant at the giants. Unhand our griffin and we'll let you go peacefully. Resist and you will die.
The one with the braided hair starts to call up to you in giant, and basically this is what you hear. This griffin is ours, just like the rest of the town.
I call back, death it is. And I'll fly up.
Cake.
The rest of the town?
Ilmater, love and charity.
If you guys all want to go ahead after that, actually, yeah, if you guys all want to make perception checks for me, please, you can all make perception checks.
Oh my god, is there a whole army?
Probably.
Lachlan.
I see Dasharra's armpit.
yeah. That's you can't really see anything. Dasharra's in the way. She's trying to trying to get her crossbow bolt like loaded, but your head's in the way, and she's kind of like moving around trying to hold it steady. Mulfin, Lachlan, you do notice on the far side where you can see at the town, there are 4 more frost giants that are way far in the distance, like far away. But it looks like they're basically walking through the town, crushing open these like igloo-style buildings and just looking and pillaging through stuff, stuffing things into large burlap bags and things like that. You also see 3 more frost giants on the cliff side, and it looks like maybe people have run into the mines, and they're rolling these giant boulders up to the mine openings. Almost look like they're enclosing them inside. And then you see there are 3 more frost giants down on the docks, like basically emptying out all of their mining supplies and dumping them into their own bags. And on the distance of the shore where it was at Frozen Bay from before, there is a ship with several more frost giants that is parked in the ice. And it seems like they have come here to raid and pillage and take whatever they can possibly take.
I'm out of spells.
Given the amount of time I yelled at everybody, "Town under attack! Lots of giants!"
Oh man, I use the rest of my movement to get back to Callista's griffin, and hopefully let her be able to get on it in her next round.
Okay, sounds good. All right, that brings us to Ashlyn.
Oh,
You can.
I'm saving Gizzard, and I still go and move as far as I can down on.
Okay. Yeah,
Devaney.
yeah. Basically, with your movement, you can get like right on top of where you wanted to do before, since you moved a little bit and shot.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
You wanted to be above the one.
And I wanted to fall right onto her.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and make. Let's make this an acrobatics check. Oh yeah!
Wow.
You land right next to Pouchois.
Okay. All right, and then.
Pouchois like wonders. First Lachlan tries to shoot him with a crossbow, and now Ashlyn tries to step on him. Like he doesn't.
I'm very sorry, Pouchois. I'm so sorry. You look great, by the way.
So Pouchois starts to flap around on her face a little bit more.
Okay, I'm gonna quitter stare for twice to the head.
Okay, you have advantage on both of these attacks.
Nice. So does a 16 hit?
It does.
Okay.
Smack!
6.
Okay.
Ow, my eye!
Yes, smacks her right in the cheek, and that's going to hit 2 for another 7.
And then I'm gonna martial arts. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna spend 1 key point to try to. Do I want a flurry of blows or do I want to? Yeah, I'll flurry of blows.
And it's funny because as she's smacking the giant in the face, Pouchois is like flying around the quarterstaff, like just dodging the quarterstaff.
I'm gonna use flurry of blows so I get 2 unarmed attacks.
Yes, sounds
so
good.
I'm gonna use martial arts and do that. So 17.
So an elbow strikes the giant in the face.
And that'll be for 11.
My goodness, it does more than a quarterstaff does.
I know, right? That's my max damage for that. And then another one, so that'll be
a critical hit. Ow!
okay.
As you after you elbow, you just like straighten out your arm and it slams right into her nose, doing another 13 points of damage. My gosh. She is down to 1 knee.
Okay.
After
and
this,
that's my griffin in common, even though I know she doesn't understand.
And she's just holding her nose, and you can see blood is pouring out of this giant nose as you're just kind of like holding on, and you're basically holding on to one of her braids as you're on the side of this. Oh man, yeah, she does not look good at all.
Okay.
I think that will be your whole turn, correct?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
so we go to Dasharra, who's going to go ahead and take a shot at the other one who just threw the boulder, and that will be a critical hit.
Yeah.
So that's a 6 and a 9. So that's 17 points of damage as it slams into the crossbow bolt. Slams into the giant. You can hear her scream out in pain. And that brings us up to Molfin's turn. As she she moved, she followed your directions and kind of moved a little bit closer. How close did you want to get?
Basically, up above. Well, actually, let me.
She can get right up to him.
Is Molfin still feeling 100 years younger? Is that drink still in effect?
Because I didn't say anything, yes, he is.
Then right over top.
But after this combat, it's probably going to wear off.
So he's feeling 275 years young. He's up in, he's excitable. He hasn't felt this good in years. So he wants her right overhead.
All right, right overhead of the one with the spear who looks worse off, or the other one that was throwing the boulders at Callista?
No, the one throwing the boulders, because the one with the spear is. As they're getting close to that one, and you said Puchwa's right beside where Ashlyn is on its shoulder.
Puchwa's just like flying all around her head, like just trying to avoid Ashlyn, like beating this thing to a pulp. I mean.
So as a bonus action is Puchwa's flying around, it eventually gets a little closer to Ashlyn at one point.
Yeah.
No. Flap of a wing sort of smacks across Ashlyn's side of Ashlyn's head.
Okay.
As with a bonus action, cast Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
On Ashlyn.
And what kind of breath are you casting?
We shall give Ashlyn hold on, let's see. We're going to let the dice decide.
All right. That might be dangerous.
Yes, it very well could be, but one way or another, it'll be funny. So let me, that's a 3.
Funny for
Let's see
who?
how my list goes.
It's gonna be like frost
On
breath.
here, okay. Acid, cold, fire is the third. So
yeah.
Ashlyn has fire breath.
Ashlyn, there is a burning sensation that you feel when Puchwa smacks you in the side of your head with one of his wings. You just kind of think like he's just having trouble flying around and avoiding your quarterstaff attacks.
And then, so that's bonus action. Action on the same one that's on the knee from on high. Another firebolt down on it.
And connects as this fire blast hits. As it strikes this, Ashlyn, you watch as Molfin from above, this fire just comes flying down and slams the giant in the back of the head, and you start to wobble a little bit on the giant, and face first, this giant starts to fall. I need you to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me, Ashlyn. Oh, yeah. And you kind of basically, it's kind of like when you're walking down an escalator and you just keep walking and you just step off of it. Basically, the giant falls and you just step right off of her onto the ground like it was nothing.
That's so cool.
And then with Molfin's movement, he looks over at Dasharra and says, "Well, if my niece can do it, so can I." Right off the side, the side, aiming at the other one's head.
The other one is a little farther away because remember, she had walked away from the other one.
Uh-oh.
You can go back if you want to. You don't have to do that. Yeah.
Nope. Too late.
Oh.
Why would you do that, Uncle Molfin?
So, Molfin, I need you to go ahead and make a let's just call this an acrobatics check. Because I want to see if you may land on the dead body of the giant that just fell in front of you that you just killed.
Can I try to catch him?
You can.
Okay, what would that be?
Oh,
Oh,
he
you're
doesn't need me.
fine.
Okay.
actually,
A
you
7.
know what? You know what?
That's a 7.
You know what? Because Ashlyn rolled so high on her saving throw, this is what happens. Ashlyn, as this giant dies, and you can hear her dying breath leave her body, as you just walk off of the shoulder, Mulfin just lands in your arms, just like Diana just collided. As Mulfin just, whoom, there he is. And he just looks, he's just staring at you in the face, and Poochwal just flutters by gently.
Hi, Uncle Wilson. How are you?
I'd be better if I was over on that individual I was aiming for.
Oh, okay. I put him down.
Okay. And is
I'm going
that
to look up at the other one. You, come over here so we can kill you too. And giant.
Yeah.
excellent? That brings us to Callista, who is currently on the back of, or are you being placed back on your Diana?
I guess I was back on Malik, yeah.
Yeah, so you were been placed back on Malik, who was kind of fluttering around aimlessly without a rider. Basically, what he was doing is trying to find Screecher again, because once they lose their rider, they kind of just follow the alpha.
Okay. Yep. I'm doing 2 dire wolves in front of the one that's standing.
All right, 2 dire wolves appear almost out of thin air in front of the other giant. As Mulfin is threatening it, you guys see those familiar forms appear, and I imagine they're going to go ahead and attack it.
Oh, yeah.
As they lunge forward,
Oh, yeah.
fangs ready to dig into its bluish gray flesh. Let's see how it does.
They get advantage anyway, regardless, so. 1, 2.
Yeah, these dire wolves are both like kind of flanking it, so they would have advantage. So both of those are going to hit. So you can roll damage for those bites as they tear into the frost giant.
One, 2.
All right, 16 points of damage as they rip and tear into the frost giant.
And I'm going to do my movement. I'm gonna kind of circle Malik down slightly, but away from the giant.
Okay.
So I can jump down, and as I'm jumping, I'm gonna wild shape into a saber-toothed tiger.
Excellent. Yeah, Malik kind of swoops down, kind of really close to the ground, just kind of hovering above. You jump out, and as you jump off, you transform into this saber-toothed tiger with these 2 massive fangs. Awesome. Will that finish your turn for this round?
Yeah.
Awesome. The frost giant, kind of watching as her companion had fallen in front of her, looks towards where Gizzard is. Is kind of looking back and forth, then kind of turns her head towards the town. And she's kind of surrounded by these dire wolves, so she's going to take 2 swipes with her massive wooden great club at one of these dire wolves. What is the AC of the dire wolf, Callista?
14.
14. Okay, so here comes these great club attacks as they come down. That one will definitely hit, and that one will also strike it. And I've changed these weapons a little bit, so I want to double check my great club. So let's see, this one and this one. $21 points of damage for the first strike as it slams down on the dire wolf. And 19 points of bludgeoning damage for the second.
Are they hitting one only,
Yeah.
or are they hitting both of them separately?
She aimed for the same one. She was like kind of like bringing it down and bringing it across.
So I'm assuming the one's gone.
Okay, so the one kind of just vanishes when the second one hits it.
Let me double check. It was 21 and what?
21 and 19.
19. Oh yeah, it's the first one's gone.
First one's gone. So that with the second swipe, you guys can hear just a yelp of the dire wolf as it just disappears and vanishes out of existence. And she was particularly aiming for the one that was kind of blocking her way back towards the town. It's almost like she's kind of preparing the way. And when she does that, she's going to start to run towards the town as she's kind of trying to get away from you guys. But the dire wolf will get an attack of opportunity. Yeah. So you can go ahead and roll an attack.
And I'm assuming it's still advantage because she's still fairy fired?
No, the other one that it was fairy fired is dead. But now your dire wolves are not flanking her anymore, so it would be just a normal roll. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are Mulford and I?
You guys are still about 20. You're still 20 feet away. That will miss. So the teeth, the fangs kind of snap as unable to connect to the giant as she starts to run, heading that way. And she gets about 40 feet away from you, heading in that opposite direction towards the town. And that brings us to Pouchois.
Okay. And you said, like where Mulfin, Pouchois, and Ashlyn are, from where that giant is now, we're about, 50 feet from?
Yes. Yeah, because you were kind of the side of where she's running. So
yeah, they were fairly close at that point.
Yeah, you're about 50 feet away.
Oh, okay. So Mulfin is going to send Pouchois once more, same deal, just up, flutter in front of, specifically now darting between the two eyes, trying to just obscure vision a little bit, make it a little trickier to see where.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little gnat flying in front of her face, like she's like trying to run and swipe at it. Excellent. That takes us to Lachlan.
Out of spite, I'm gonna fire a crossbow bolt at the fleeing giant here.
Okay, out of spite, sure.
Out of spite.
Nice.
Is it the 17 or is it the 26 for your
17?
17.
I think right. I wouldn't have advanced.
Yeah, you wouldn't for this. Currently, because of what Pouchois is doing, she'll have like disadvantage on attacks if she were to make one on an attack for this turn. But the 17 will strike her in the back. You can go ahead and roll for your damage.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And technically, Pouchois would be an ally within 5 feet.
Ooh,
so you do get to make your sneak attack damage. On top of that. So yeah, you definitely get a good strike into the back of this frost giant's neck. She reaches back and kind of holds on to. You can see that some of the blood is kind of starting to drip down from the back of her neck from that connection. Lachlan, are you kind of moving? Or are you going to move? Or are you going to?
I want to fall into formation behind Dasharra.
Okay, excellent. Sounds perfect. You can see Dasharra's trying to kind of like swing around after losing Mulfin. She's kind of swinging around, trying to turn around to make another pass. And that brings us to Diana.
I have 2 questions. The first one is for the party.
Okay.
I have 1 3rd level left and 1 1st level left. So that's like a Cure Wounds, which is 8 points of healing, and then a Revivify if one of you guys get killed. I can get to you in 1 minute and save your lives. Would you rather I keep the Revivify, or would you rather that I cast Spiritual Weapon at 3rd level because I'm out of 2nd level spells, and it's a 2nd level spell, so I have to cast it at 3rd? Would you rather I cast Spiritual Weapon so I can deal more damage, or would you rather have that fallback in case any of you fall?
No, keep the fallback. Keep the fallback.
Okay, good.
Just in case.
Just wanted to double check. And then, what was my second question? I forgot what my second question was. Oh, no, wait. Never mind.
Okay.
I answered that one myself already. I don't know why I thought of it. I am going to, I'm gonna draw my mace, and I kind of want to find the giant that's running. Can I do like a little swoop attack? Like swoop down, whack her, and then go away?
You because the giant is running away from where you were, you're about 80 feet away from her right now. So you could swoop down and attack, but you wouldn't have any movement left to swoop away.
Okay. How about going into town, like, to see, like, the frost giants? Like, who's there? Can I identify, like, a leader?
You could attempt to. It would take you quite some time. Because as we're kind of like locked into a combat situation, like each turn you'd basically move 160 feet with the dash action on top of the griffin. And it's still several hundred feet away from town, so it would take you a few rounds to like be able to kind of do this like complete circle of the town.
I feel like all of the giants are heading towards town anyway, so I'll take my dash action.
The way they're set up, they are like very far apart from one another. Like the clusters, like the 4 that are broken up, kind of like raiding town, are very far away from the 4. I think I said 4 or 3. Did I say that we're putting boulders in front of the cave mouths? I think I said 3.
Yeah.
And then there are 3 others that are pretty far down on the dock areas, kind of putting things out. So the giants themselves, even though there's a lot of them, they're kind of separated in the way that they're formed right now. All of them seem to be focusing on something different.
How far away is the nearest nearest giant cluster? How far away?
The nearest one would probably be the ones that are on the docks. Now you'd have to kind of fly down into the bay area where the stone docks are built and kind of protruding out into the frozen bay area. But they are probably the closest group. You can see that there's a group of 3. You can't really tell male or female from this distance and what weapons they have and things like that, but you can tell that they're raiding all of the storage units that are on the docks that they are saving for whenever the ice melts, and they can kind of ship all this material out.
Okay. Are they within 80 feet, or would I have to use dash to get there?
You'd probably have to use 2 turns to get there.
2 turns dashing?
Yeah, it's several hundred feet away.
Do you have a cantrip that you can hit with the one that's fleeing?
I do. It's Sacred Flame, which is never that great, but yeah.
So that's a dexterity save, correct?
It is indeed, and they always pass it.
Not this time.
I'll catch up to her.
I'll give you a little hint, Diana. Frost giants, considering their size, are not very dexterous.
Okay.
So yes, you strike. Go ahead and roll your damage for the Sacred Flame.
Okay. It's within 60 feet, so I always forget that this one doesn't like.
Yeah, for some reason that one doesn't roll. I'm not sure why.
So like re-entered, I think.
This divine flame erupts around this frost giant. Yeah, nice roll. Look at that.
Very nice.
See that? You can do a sacred flame, Diana. You can do one.
Yay!
So this divine fire just ignites around the frost giant, and you can hear a wail of pain as she is doing what she can to start running and heading towards the town.
Okay, I'll just follow her and chase her down. And I remember what my question was.
Yeah.
And then I forgot it again. So if it comes back up.
Okay. Yeah, if it pops into your brain, just throw it out there. We got it.
Okay.
And that brings us to Ashlyn, who's about 50 feet away from the fleeing giant that you just saw erupt in a divine flame.
Which is my speed exactly.
Okay.
So I will move all 50 feet.
Callista, is that still difficult terrain around where she used to stand? Does it stay there?
Yeah, unless you go around it. Unless you go around it.
Yeah, okay, we'll say you could kind of swing around it. You could swing around it to that side and still reach her. You kind of got to swing around the lumped earth where all these like fists are still like stuck in place where they had erupted and slammed into the giants.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use my quitter staff.
Okay.
Oh, I remembered my question.
Okay.
Oh, go for it.
Is, because I took a nap, am I no longer exhausted?
It has to be a long rest for exhaustion.
Oh.
It was only a short
Okay.
rest. Yep, you're still exhausted. All right,
Am I
the first one strikes her in the shin as Ashlyn runs up and smacks it into 6 points.
My quarterstaff is not another quarterstaff.
That will strike as well.
Okay. Ooh,
Wow.
better.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna do the same thing. Use 1 key point to do 2 martial arts.
All right, so now like a karate chop to the side of the leg.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
that one. As you're trying to strike with your hand, the giant like picks her leg up to like hold onto her shin and just bounce on one foot after you slammed into it with those 2 quarterstaff hits. So as that's happening, you just you swing and a miss. So you can make
Okay.
your second one if you'd like to,
Yes, I'm gonna readjust.
and that one will definitely
Try
hit.
it. Okay.
As she goes to put her leg back down, you just slam across it for another 9 points of damage. And she kind of like falls onto her knee, like beside you, Ashlyn. She is not looking very good. She's got blood running out of a cut on her shin from where you thwacked her a couple times. I mean, she is looking hurt, looking a little scorched from Diana's sacred flame.
Good, and that's my turn.
All right, that brings us to Dasharra, who is going to reform and get Lachlan kind of right behind, and is going to just kind of fly overhead. She's going to go ahead and take a shot. And unfortunately, that one will miss. As the giant is kind of at one knee, the crossbow bolt just strikes the ground beside her. And that brings us to Molfin.
Oh, Molfin is going to charge the full length of his movement so he can get within 30 feet of this fleeing giant. The whole time muttering to himself, "Give Ashlyn such a wonderful ability to breathe fire and squatters
Oh,
it
it's not-
swinging around that stupid stick."
Ashlyn, yeah.
I'll try something different to stop this thing from moving. And Molfin
Like
drops.
Ashlyn's intelligent enough to remember that.
Ashlyn's still trying to figure out why there's a burning in her throat.
Yeah, I'm like,
She's like, what did Poochwa do to me?
how did he hit me in the back of the head?
And with that, Molfin will drop concentration on that.
Okay.
And hopefully knock a giant to the ground.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Wisdom saving throw. Interesting. Okay.
Come on, roll low.
What's the DC?
16.
She rolled a 20. So yeah, as you're concentrating on casting this spell, your incantations, even though she's on one knee ahead of you, you don't see that familiar burst of laughter that you're used to from this spell, Molfin.
Then once more in giant, Molfin is going to call at the back of this one. "Stop fleeing, you coward! You didn't leave when we gave you the opportunity. Just die like a good giant."
Excellent. So that one, Molfin's turn?
Yep.
All right. Callista, you are
All right.
now a saber-toothed tiger. You're about 50 feet away from the giant.
Okay, my direwolf's gonna go around the terrain since they have 50 feet and go right up beside Ashlyn to attack.
All right. We'll give it advantage
you
for
get it.
flanking.
Yep.
I go, good puppy.
So Ash-
Oh, fuck.
Ashlyn, you're not feeling that sensation in your throat anymore as you see this direwolf approach just out from behind all these, like, it looks like earth fists that are sticking out of the ground. It's like you can see this almost like a slow motion running of this dire wolf as it comes around the bend and leaps. And unfortunately, the giant is able to see this coming and kind of just ducks and dodges out of the way from this attack. and it does not hit. What would you
Okay.
like to do next, Callista?
I'm gonna go over to Gizzard and try and get him free of the netting
Okay, excellent.
with my teeth.
Okay,
I meant to do that.
okay. Go ahead and make an attack against the net.
Oh, okay. That it is.
Okay.
24?
Yep. Roll damage.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You start to gnaw on these ropes. Unfortunately, Callista, these ropes are really thick, and they're actually like really. They almost seem like they're weathered in a way to make them withstand a little bit more. You're able to start to tear some of it. You get some of the strands to break, but it doesn't completely break just yet. You feel like if you spent some more time biting it, maybe on your next turn, that it would completely rip open.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So
That's
it. As it becomes the frost giant's turn, hearing all this take place, you hear her scream out as loud as she can. Something in giant.
What did she say?
And she said, "We are under attack!" As she tries
yes,
to
you are.
scream out towards the town, and then turns towards the two creatures that are closest to her, which would be Ashlyn and the dire wolf. And she is going to try to slam both of them once with her great club. So Ashlyn, here comes one towards you. That is a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
And this
Just
one,
a question, didn't you say they'd have disadvantage because of Bourgeois trying to blind them?
yes. Never mind. So that's 11. Well, that'd still be a 20 to hit. Does that hit you?
Nope.
That doesn't?
Nope.
The 20 doesn't hit you?
I took Kenzai, so if I hit with an unarmed attack the previous turn, my AC goes up too, so I'm at 21.
Oh, awesome.
Oh my god!
That is crazy. All right. Unfortunately for the dire wolf, let's see.
Sorry for the direwolf.
Wow. What's the AC of a dire wolf?
14.
And it misses.
Yes!
So Poochwa flying around this
Yep,
the
Poochwa.
like she's kind of swatting at it and then looks down at Ashlyn and tries to slam down. It gets really close. Ashlyn just kind of takes a sidestep and the club just slams into the ground, crushing some of the earthen hands like behind in the rough terrain. Then immediately swinging on the other side, trying to get the dire wolf. The dire wolf is just able to almost just stand right where it is. It's trying to push the Poochwa out of it. Like Poochwa almost hits the giant directly in the eyeball and just slams the club down and just misses completely. And then she tries to continue running and stand up. So Ashlyn, if you'd like to take an attack of opportunity, and the dire wolf can take an attack of opportunity as well, both with advantage because you are flanking. Poochwa for the win. Yes, that will hit with the quarterstaff. 11 points of damage. And Callista, that will hit. You can roll your damage.
I just want to point out how much, Callista and Diana knocked the flying snakes, and flying snakes be saving lives right now.
Don't test us.
Ooh. So,
This will be on the test.
Callista, go ahead and describe this for us as the giant falls.
He goes straight for the jugular, much like an animal of prey would, and just tears her throat out.
Awesome.
Blood spraying everywhere.
I'm
A-
like, yeah!
Ashlyn took her quarterstaff after she slammed into the side of its knee, like up above, and then put the quarterstaff in between her feet as she started to run, and tripped her. And as she was falling, the dire wolf just jumps up and just rips the front of her throat out. And she slams down face first onto the ground. And you guys are out of initiative order.
For the moment.
Well, didn't someone say there were more?
I'll finish getting Gizzard out of the ropes then.
Yeah, I'm gonna run my 50 feet back to check on Gizzard and be like, Gizzard, are you okay?
Yeah, you guys approach. Gizzard is wrapped up inside this net. Appears to be fine, but is just still kind of wrapped up and unable to move at this point in time. But you guys, you can see that Callista's already done a little bit of a number on the ropes as she's gnawing at it. I would assume you would continue to gnaw at it until it breaks, Callista. So you can see this saber-toothed tiger just ripping and tearing at the net. And eventually the net falls away from Gizzard, and Gizzard seems to be fine. Maybe a little bit shaken up.
Oh.
But I'm sure Gizzard will shake it off relatively quickly.
Yeah.
How does Gizzard deal with a giant saber-toothed tiger snarling and snapping it?
Immediately starts to take to the sky.
I go bye.
Gizzard kind of falls into formation right behind Screecher.
Okay. We should probably leave with the whole giants attacking town thing.
Well, should we not deal with the giants?
We should deal with these. Oh, you mean these dead ones, right? Loot them.
You hear Dasharra call from up above. We've got to get these out of here.
I will drop form and try and signal for Malik to come down to pick me up.
Okay.
As Callista's starting to drop form, Malfin was looking like he was going to crawl on the back of the saber-toothed tiger.
Callista, yeah, you just all of a sudden yourself, and Malfin's trying to climb on your back.
What are you?
He does that.
I had the need of a mount. There was a cat present.
I am not a mount.
I'll carry you, Uncle Molfin.
Okay.
Okay. So, Molfin, would you jump on Ashland's back like Luke Skywalker and Yoda, or would you be
one hand right across the neck and death grip around the throat?
Molfin, I can't breathe. What are you doing?
You'll be fine, my dear.
Oh yeah.
Diana, you're still perched on your mount. What would you be doing at this point as well?
I would fly down to where everyone else is and just say, I am very low on spells. I don't know if I could heal you guys as much as you would need it. I don't know. Do we want to...
We need to get out of here.
I don't want to we can't let this village be laid to waste, but what can we do?
And at that
I'm
point,
getting the dancing lights to bring Malik down.
Okay, Malik starts to swoop down, following the dancing lights, and as that is happening, and as Diana is saying that, you guys all kind of hear some crunching of some foliage.
I hop on my griffin.
I'm on my griffin.
But as you do that, and Molfin, you look towards the crumpling, you see standing in front of you is Sarvin, King of the Frozen Far.
Oh, yes.
And next to him is the halfling, Jolin, Orange Peel. And he's holding what looks like a spear that he's made himself.
Aww.
And next to them is the Zentrum guard, Kentucky. Who's standing there with his weapons.
So dreamy.
And Kentucky kind of looks over, and Sarvin kind of looks at you guys, and Sarvin looks to his right, looks to his left. So we've got a giant problem.
You're so funny, Sarvin.
Do you remember the time I told you?
Not now.
And that's a perfect time for us to end our episode tonight, as we are right at 11 o'clock on the nose. Awesome.
Sarvin is our cavalry. Came to save us.
Awesome, guys. That was amazing.
That was
you guys,
really fun.
I was always like that fairy fire spell is so good.
Yes, it is. I did not know how good it was.
It's so good. Yeah, awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in with and watching this episode tonight. episode 28 of Storm King's Thunder right here at Proficiency Bonus. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe. And you can check us out on YouTube to catch up on our old episodes. But one thing that we like to do at the end of each of
right now.
yes, Ashlyn is catching up. You can actually catch Sarah and Matthew on Monday nights right here as they run through Tomb of Annihilation live at 8 p.m. Eastern. Lachlan MG is also our producer for that show.
Look, it's now the stream formerly known as Tomb of Annihilation. This week it's Prison Break.
Prison Break.
Yeah. They're in pretty dire straits. So
Yeah.
It's gonna be entertaining.
They are in some trouble, and I'm anxious to see how they work this out. And if you get a chance to tune in to that episode live, it's going to be exciting. Because I don't know. Oh, this is awkward saying Michael is too nice. Let out your inner Chris Perkins. It's like, oh man.
I wanted the others. I wanted the other 10 to show up.
It was gonna be, she got that shout out. So we'll have to see what happens next week whenever we start right into the episode. 'Cause, there's some raiding and pillaging going on in Fireshare.
And some embedded people. If only there was a cleric of giving in charity who wanted to save the individuals trapped within to suffocate and die in painful agony and alone with their children in the mines.
She does.
Wow.
She does. She's just, maybe.
There.
Awesome.
Sorry,
Well,
there's a player twisted the knife.
in our traditional close for our sessions, we want to pick someone who either did something extremely just amazing RP or strategy wise, or even combat wise that was something that stood out. Is there anybody in particular that we can gift a free Nat 20 to for our next session next week?
Don't know.
I want to vote Ashlyn.
Ashlyn did a ton of damage.
Yes.
More than just that, just the character and the idea of jumping down on the thing and then just, escalator walk down.
Because he oiled himself and slid through a window and landed on the back of a. Yeah.
He tar feathered himself.
Tar and feather.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well, that was hysterical. At the same point, Lachlan also got his rear end kicked by a griffin.
And that was hysterical.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Anybody who is on our Twitch chat, if you guys are tuning in live tonight, if you want to go ahead and chime in and pitch in something that from the episode tonight, feel free to do so.
Dawson, why don't you go? We got a.
I know that we got a.
Oh, Josh is there. Kuplin's there.
Yeah, no.
Actually, we got a Medlin 11's here too. Hi, Medlin. How you doing?
Oh, we got Keplin with voting for Ashlyn for the griffin surfing. I would love to see some fan art of that.
Ashlyn surfing on the back of a griffin.
Gizzard surfing could be a new thing.
Yeah.
I want to see fan art of me catching Callista because that's just like a dream.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be that would be awesome.
Next to fan art of me catching Molfin.
Oh, Jesus.
A good juxtaposition.
There was 2 bridal catches today. What was up with that?
I don't know.
Like when Ashlyn rolled that nat 20 on that save, I was like, oh my goodness. It's like this is gonna be the most elegant walk off of a dead giant ever.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome. So here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and give a nat 20 to Lachlan, and we'll give a nat 20 to Ashlyn for next week. The rest of you enjoy some DM's inspiration for next time for the excellent role play and just some cool strategy. I love how Callista used the dancing lights to kind of manipulate the griffin and get it to do what she wanted it to do. I thought that was very clever. And then Molfin just kind of, hey, I would do that too. He jumps.
Yeah, Lachlan saved my ass, so I'm down with that.
What I found hysterical is my initial thought was to use firebolt and fire a firebolt through each one of the rings and have it try to chase the firebolt.
Oh yeah.
That's way too. You know what? Okay, I'll do a rock, something like this, and I'll use a firebolt as the light the powder keg. That didn't work so well.
So awesome! I've got the nat 20s up there on the board. I don't think anybody used any DM's inspiration tonight, did you?
Oh no.
Well, I don't think you gave it to us, so I just assumed you didn't give it.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You can almost assume at the end of every session because of your great
Oh,
roleplay
okay.
that I'm going
I
to
just
give you an
assumed you
inspiration
didn't.
point. Yeah, I give you guys inspiration.
I think we missed it because of how late we ran last week.
Yeah, it was probably what it was.
True,
I was trying to get things wrapped up kind of quick last week, so that was probably what it was. Oh, but that was an excellent episode, guys. That was awesome.
That was
You guys
super
all
fun.
did such a great job.
Good game.
Yeah, it was a very good game. But now we're in the middle of a raiding party of frost giants, so we will have to see what happens next time.
With
on
two
our
exhausted
adventure.
party members.
Yeah. 2 exhausted party members.
Yeah.
Everybody
Largely
running.
out of spells.
Everybody running low on
I'm at a third
spells.
level spell. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I disagree wholeheartedly with that. I've got 1 level 3, 2 level 2s, and 2 level 1s left.
This is the first time, I don't need spells, guys. I'm useful.
That is awesome. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Is there any other announcements that we have for this evening other than tune in on Monday for Tomb of Annihilation? We've got Insight Check that Christy is in on Monday afternoons. So make sure you go by and swing by Insight Check and check them out. Give them a follow as well, as they're running a really cool homebrew campaign over there. You guys can check out their group. Anything else we need to throw out there before we head on out?
Don't think so.
Don't think so.
No, not that I can
Just
think
be
so.
lovely and beautiful and be good people.
Yeah, yeah. Be good to one another. Be good to one another. We need that right now. I think
Yeah.
all over the globe we need that right now. So,
So you cast darkness?
Oh no, I was checking something on the jumbo size tokens.
Okay.
Nice. Nice.
Be
Well,
good to each other
yeah.
in the dark.
in the dark. Well, you guys all have a great night. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. We're just so glad that you guys are joining the adventure with us. Make sure to follow and subscribe. Share any of our channels. Share any of our videos. Get them out to your friends, family, other friends, and just anybody you know. If you enjoy what we do, just come and check us out every Friday night and every Monday night as well, as Matthew leads them through Tomb of Annihilation. So, no matter what giants you face in life, remember, don't forget to add that proficiency bonus. We will see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.